Hello, good mates and good sirs and good misses out there. How are you doing today? It is your host, Stav. And I will not be talking to that accent the entire time because I can't keep that energy up for
Please
4
do it.
hours.
I
Because
need
that's
you
how
to do
long
it,
we're
Stav.
going today. We're going 4 hours in this podcast, so you'd love to see it. What's up, all my yers and my yodes? It's your boy, Stav. Good Game Report Podcast is live right now on Twitch. And if you're listening in the future, thank you so much for listening. If you're watching right now, let's get some yers up in the chat because we'd love to see the yers out there. Big freaking yers and big freaking pogs to this episode. It's going to be an absolute doozy. We're going to be doing 2 power hours during the entire thing for our guest Power Hour Peter, and we're gonna have a lot of fun getting drunk with him, and it's gonna be phenomenal. We have a full slate today. It's gonna be great. We're gonna go inside the GGR, and we're gonna talk about kind of what goes on behind the scenes, not only in the Discord, but for the raid nights and the game nights and the podcast. It's gonna be super fun. To give everybody kind of a little juicy nugget that they might not know about. Then we have some great gaming news. We have a new character that was announced in Apex for Season 5, Assassin's Creed's Valhalla. GTA 5 online role-playing has hit new levels right now. We have gang wars out there. It's out of control. Ninja actually had a really good idea. First time we're going to talk positive about that. Valorant Ranked came out. NickMercs had a new stream room that hit today. And for general discussion too, we're going to talk about the state of gaming. That's kind of changed, over the past 7 weeks, and we didn't even know that it changed. So it's going to be a good little topic. Time out. I didn't say this. May the 4th be with you.
And also, wait, wrong thing. Sorry.
Here.
It's May the 4th. We're doing a podcast. May the 4th be with you. Let me bring on my co-host and hope the 4th is with him. Mendy! Hello, Mendy.
What's up, Stav?
Nothing. How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Here?
Speaking of do you want to give a shout out to your yours out there? Can we get a shout out to the yours?
Here.
Can we get a double shout out to the yours?
Yeah.
Can we do a triple 2-time fast, 1-time slow for all the yours out there?
Yeah.
We love to see it. Thank you, Mendy, for coming on. As always, appreciate having you here. We have a guest, Mendy.
We
Did
do?
you know that?
We do?
He's right next to us. He's literally to our left, staring at us. Phenomenal beard.
Yeah.
Well-known face of the GGR.
Oh.
Mr. Game Night. Mr. Power Hour Peter. PeterByte, ladies and gentlemen, joining the podcast this week. Hello, Peter!
What's going on?
Nothing. All right, drink. No, I'm kidding. We're not doing a power hour. We're not doing a power hour. I got in trouble last time we did a power hour with Peter, so we're not doing that tonight. Maybe down the road we might get into that, but
it will be rare. But
Peter,
I don't know.
thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. How are you?
I'm doing good.
You're doing good. Okay,
I'm doing really good.
2 things I want to talk about. First off, awesome job on the game night. You're crushing it. I thoroughly enjoy coming by every Friday night. I love what you're doing with it. You just keep getting better and better with the videos and making fun of Boomer Craig and all those videos. It's pretty fun.
Well, it is standard now to make fun of him, so
it is. It's kind of a thing now, and I'm glad you're doing it because I love those videos. The Optimus one was great. Gnarly and Alley was awesome as well. So it's really cool that you're doing that. You're doing a great job with the game night. Keep it up. You're crushing it. Second off, those clips that we just watched right there. One, you were so intrigued by a doorbell in Fortnite, which I thought was hilarious.
So a little backstory on that. I had a little bit of alcohol in my system, and we were just goofing around the whole night. So that's where that ended up.
That was like 30 seconds of just like pressing the doorbell and just like, I'm having so much fun pressing this freaking doorbell.
So I don't play Fortnite often, and I was just bored, and I was just like, oh, I found a doorbell, and it works.
And secondly, bro, we said this off the podcast. If you need help with your close combat stuff, Mendy and I are here for you if you want some coaching. There was a lot of close combat things there that just led to just punching people and stuff. So we can talk about that later. We can talk about that now. Up to you.
Oh no, just all I gotta say is what I lack in shooting, I do good on my throwdowns. Okay.
I thought those were great, and I thought they really brought out your personality a little bit, especially the Resident Evil ones. Mendy said when we were watching, you just like slowly creep back. I thought that was pretty good. You were like, nope, not doing this. Not gonna
today.
happen.
You guys, I should have some clips where it's just like it's because I keep my headset so loud and it's just like me yelling constantly because of jump scares.
That locker one actually scared me. Like I was like, obviously something's gonna fall out of it, but I wasn't ready for it. So
that's not even the worst one. There's been way worse on there. My Outlast stuff is.
Yeah, Outlast is a weird. I don't
Outlast
think
seems
we can
scary.
use that for promotional use.
Outlast has some scary stuff. Gnarly and Allie were playing and watching it the other night, and it was pretty intimidating.
Or Allie.
They were playing because I suggested that. It was my suggestion.
That's a good call. That's a game I have on my list too.
Allie hated me. She called me out on the stream. She was like, "Peter, you better be here watching this." And while she's yelling.
That's a scary game. It really is. It's terrifying. I'd like to play it eventually and just get scared. But Peter, I mean, most people know you out there as the face of Game Night. Very active in the Discord and GGR Discord. But let's get a little background information on you. Kind of who are you and kind of what you do, and then we can go from there.
Yeah. So obviously my name's Peter.
Yeah.
For those that are curious, I'm 28. Born and raised in
curious.
Philadelphia. Born and raised in Philadelphia. As far as streaming goes, I've been doing it for I think a little over a year now. But I've been in content creating for a while. I mean, wasn't as serious as I was now, but I used to do YouTube back then. Other than that, most of my experience that I've done is working with game servers. I've worked with communities before. Yeah.
Boom.
That's the quick rundown. I'm pretty sure we'll cover some stuff as we go on, but
that's the quick rundown, baby. And what about like your role inside the GGR? So you actually you came in like hot, right? So you came into the Discord.
Oh, yeah.
And you were firing away. You started with the coffee crew in the morning that helped a lot of people get through their mornings while working. The breakfast club.
It still shows itself a little bit every now and then.
Yeah.
and then you just kind of shot up, and the next thing you know, you got moved into like the insider GGR stuff, and then you took over Game Night. So you can kind of break down like your roles in the inside the GGR. I'm sure everybody would like to know.
Yeah, so obviously currently Game Night is the main thing I do. I do help moderate the Discord when I'm just sitting around doing nothing. I'm constantly on here talking my self to death over here. But I'm well aware of my talking, by the way. Just saying. Other than that, like, which we'll go more in a little bit, but a lot of things I do is give ideas for these guys, and kind of collaborate with them in new stuff we can do for you guys watching.
It's I was just like, all of a sudden it was just like, oh, this Peter guy, he's pretty involved in this Discord. And then we had like a lot of back and forth, and Mendy, I don't know if you feel the same way, but and then like I was like, maybe we should bring him on. Like, let's get him a little more active in this thing. And
Yeah.
like he just took over the GGR by storm, dude, and it was freaking awesome. Like,
well, I came in very hot. I'm not even gonna lie, and I'll mention it here. I don't think too many people know about this, and Mendy knows what I'm about to bring up. But I think I got on Mendy's nerves when I first came in, and you can admit it or not, but
Everybody gets on my nerve.
we got some beef here, everybody. I'm just gonna sit back and let it happen.
My eyes like constantly like I don't know what's going on, but yeah. So it really started like Craig reached out to me on Instagram, which it's funny that he reached out to me there because I don't really use Instagram as much as I should. And then I came in, and then I remember my first impression. It was the first thing I saw was your call party.
Mine?
And,
that's not a good first impression.
It was not at first because I was watching it. I'm like,
wait, the video?
What's going?
The YouTube video?
What's going on here? No, I was there. Like it was one of his actual call parties.
Oh,
not good.
They advertised it, and I came in, and I'm like, looking at it. He was trashed by the time I watched, by the way.
That doesn't sound like me.
That's like saying my room is never clean.
Actually, funny enough, stop. I think you were actually like kind of nodding off for a second. You were real bad that night.
No, does not sound like me whatsoever. Mendy, can you believe this? Is he describing me or someone else? You must be confused.
Yeah, I think he's just confused because you like to rest your head on your microphone. He just thought that you were sleeping.
I
But
had a long day that day.
I think you worked all day too.
I woke up at noon. I had to go to the library. It was.
I had to go to the library.
Had to read some dusty books.
Yeah.
It's like, where are you going with this?
I had a lot of overdue books. It was crazy. It was a long day. That's a tough first impression. Just like, who is this slob?
It really was. Like, it wasn't a bad impression. It was just more along the lines of like,
What's
is this
going
what
on
I'm
here?
walking into right now?
My
And
first
then
impression of
months
Stav
later-
was the promo video that they made on Instagram, which was somewhat professional, so that was pretty good.
That was the only professional part of that entire night. Is the video clip being made of it. The
We have a
And
really
Peter's
good
like-
YouTube video of it.
Peter's like, no way I'm ever gonna work with this kid. Months later,
Or-
power hour getting loaded together.
I will say though, despite it was an awkward first impression. It wasn't like anything bad. It was just an awkward first impression because I'm like, what's going on? I didn't know what was going on. Like I didn't know what. I thought it was just they got a drunk guy, put him on camera. It's like, oh,
That's
represent the GGR.
That's it. No, there's this. I'm like a fine truly, okay? I get better with with age and the more time you let it soak.
I
in a
just want to point
fridge.
out. I just want to point out that it's only been a little bit, and I already broke Mendy for a second.
Yeah, that got me pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Well,
Stop.
I'm glad you didn't run away when you saw that first one. So I mean, seriously, thank you for sticking it out and fighting through it. Because we are glad to have you, and you do a lot inside the GGR, and I think we appreciate. I think everybody listening who's in the GGR community really appreciate the work that you put in. So, yo, cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Let's go. Mendy's so pissed every time we do that.
I have no idea what
let's
he's
go.
talking about, chat.
Nice.
I have no idea what he's referring to.
Let's go into your gaming background a little bit. Everybody kind of has a different story about how they started playing video games. So if you kind of go into maybe like your first system that you had, first memory that you had with a video game, and if there's one game that really stuck out as your like, all right, I like video games because of this one game.
Yeah, so real quick, if you guys see me wiping my eye, I just want to point out I don't know what's going on. I'm not trying to purposely do it. With that said, yeah, so I started gaming very like early in my childhood because my dad was a big gamer. I just remember playing the Super Nintendo. I specifically remember like Super Mario World and like I remember there was a Batman Forever game, I think it was, that I used to play on there. But yeah, pretty much growing up though, as me and my brothers were always like spoiled with like every single game system up until like the PS3, I think it was. But yeah, so I did that. I just constantly each system I played because I was spoiled with that. And then it wasn't until like 2010 is when I started diving into PC gaming. So now I'm like completely PC gaming, just because it's cheaper in the long run, and I learned that early in my college years. But yeah, other than that, I usually stick with adventure action type games. Not so much FPSs anymore. I especially like strategy type games that make you kind of outthink other people and all. Like, I guess you could say, like for FPS, I count Overwatch because that makes me think what the other person is going to do. Like that's a game I like to play. Recently, I started picking up. I was just telling you guys, I picked up Assassin's Creed Brotherhood because I'm starting it from that point on. And other than that, I've been picking up Paladins, Minecraft. I even went into like RuneScape recently for some reason. But yeah, that's currently what I'm at.
I really wish I started PC gaming earlier in my life.
Yeah, it's
Same.
It's definitely cheaper in the long run. It's expensive in the beginning when you're building or if you buy a computer, that can handle a lot of the games. But once you get it all situated, it's cheaper in the long run. There's a lot more deals on PC than any other system.
And you don't have to pay like a subscription either.
Yeah, that too. Like, I'm not like crapping on console. Like, if you like console, you like console. That's fine. But PC gaming is cheaper in the long run for you if you're on a budget like me.
It was always like a myth to me, like PC gaming. I was just like, okay, yeah, cool.
A myth.
I got a PS4. What of it, bro?
Only
like,
the legends speak of the PC gaming.
And then I was like thrown into this entire new world once I started watching Twitch and everything. I was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like PC is pretty cool for gaming, I guess. Like I just started using the keyboard too, so I mean, sky's the limit over here for me, going pro and everything on keyboard and mouse.
But that's the thing, though. Like with PC gaming, and I feel like there's a misconception with a lot of people that aren't familiar with PC gaming. You don't have to use a mouse and keyboard for PC gaming. You can stick with the controller if you want. I use a controller for a lot of games. For example, in the promo video, Resident Evil was that game that with the horror stuff, and I use a controller for that. I don't use mouse and keyboard because it's just easier to play with a controller. So a lot of people have that misconception that you got to use mouse and keyboard, and they're scared to even try to use it.
I plugged my controller as soon as I plugged in my PC and had everything set up. Immediately plugged in my controller, and it gave me a headache trying to play Fortnite on mouse and keyboards. I'm trying to switch over to it now. Mendy's doing the right thing, I believe. Any new game he gets, he's switching over to mouse and keys.
Yeah.
Like I would love to be full-time mouse and keys. I would.
You can tell like if you want to get really good at a game, like mouse and keyboard is just definitely the way to go for most games.
Yeah. It depends on the game. Like I can tell you right now, FPS is like you got to use mouse and keyboard. That's the accuracy is what you need. But like I said, with games like Dark Souls or like I said, Resident Evil, Tomb Raiders, one of the games I recently played too.
Rocket League, of course.
Rocket League.
Rocket League's actually really much easier on a controller.
Correct.
So it's just a game by game basis, I think.
I use mouse and keyboards for Uno. And
for Uno.
Monopoly. And I'm pretty good with the mouse and keys on Monopoly and Uno. Pretty good. I'm pretty good, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Huge shout out to Valorant for helping me out, because I thought it was a very easy game to transition into, a mouse and keys. And I'm not trying to make this into a mouse and keys argument, but like I played like 30 hours of Valorant, and I was just like, I'm feeling pretty comfortable on mouse and keys. Let me try it on Fortnite. And I've been playing Fortnite the past week on mouse and keys just in the background, and I do feel better just with 30 hours on mouse and keys. Like it's just a comfort thing now.
Yeah, if you play it enough, you're gonna get used to it, just like any other thing. Like if you're someone that doesn't use a controller and you go to use a controller, you're gonna get used to it with playing with it enough.
I don't know why they didn't make it ESDF. Instead of WASD. Like when you're typing on a computer, you have your pointers on F and J.
I guess you can key bind it. Yeah,
you can do it, but I was told early on when I tried re-key binding for Fortnite that like that's what the noobs do. They switch over. So if you want to be like a keyboard and mouse guy, like it's frowned upon.
But I mean, you still have your tabs, caps, shift, and control you can use on your left side.
Well, that's what I was just about to say. Like WASD is for me is a lot more comfortable, because especially since I use my pinky to hit shift and control, and then like I'll use my thumb to hit, and well, maybe not the thumb for alt, but it's kind of hard to do when you're not actually doing it. But if you have that moved over, it's actually a lot less comfortable to hit that shift or control if you have.
I just thought it was weird because you type with your index finger on the F, so I was just like, why wouldn't they just keep it the same as an office keyboard or something like that?
You don't type like this?
I used to.
I still do sometimes.
I will admit it. I type like that, but I type pretty fast. All right. I'm not like this, but I'm like real fast with it.
One of my teachers in high school, she would hold two pencils, and that's how she would type in on the eraser side. So
that's terrible.
What?
I was like pre-touch screen, like iPad with a pen.
I'd never seen someone do that before.
It was
gave
amazing.
Me a headache. It just gave me a headache.
Just imagine just sitting there like, hold on.
I wish I had two pencils on here. It was pretty much like this.
Ridiculous.
Oh man.
I hope that never happens to me. I have to
Ooh.
type like that. Peter, when did you start streaming? You said roughly maybe a year ago, but I want the exact time, date,
Oh yeah.
I don't
day.
even know the exact
weather.
time.
Yeah.
It's been a while. I'm not one of those people that like does well with keeping track of dates. So I'm pretty sure it's been over a year now
Wow.
that I've been streaming. Because I hit affiliate. Yeah, I hit affiliate, I think February of last year. So it's definitely been over a year. Actually, it might be closer to 2 years thinking about it now. But
Time out. That's a big gap.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I started a year ago, and you're like, you know what? It might be like 7 or 8 years. I don't
well,
know.
because if you think about it, it's already past February, and that's when I hit affiliate. Now I was streaming before that for a while, obviously.
Hmm.
So it's definitely been longer. I just don't know the exact date.
Stop. Do you even know your
I lost
exact date?
complete track.
I think we went over this. It was like July 17th at like 7:36 p.m. It was a nice breeze that night. All the windows were open.
On the
Uh,
PS4?
Yeah, PS4, man, it was gross. It was disgusting. You have the entire right side filled up with your chat box.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember when I started streaming, that was when I was in my old apartment. It was a 1-bedroom. So I'm in a 2-bedroom apartment now. So this room is like my office / guest room. As you can see, there's a futon back there. But my old apartment, it was a 1-bedroom apartment, and my computer was in the living room, and I was living with my then girlfriend, now fiance. But we were living there, and I remember she would go to bed because she went to bed earlier than me at the time. And that's when I started streaming, and I was streaming there because I couldn't stream any other time. But I started there because my internet was better because I was paying for it myself, and I got the like best internet plan I could.
It's like, all right, good night. Have a great night. I'll be in a little bit. Let's go. Just like immediately transition into hardcore streaming.
She used to hate it for a while. She still somewhat doesn't get the whole streaming thing, but she, as you can see, she joins me sometimes and all.
She had a blast Friday night, it looked like.
Oh yeah, she was trying to get you to do karaoke afterwards, and you were just like too busy with Valorant.
Oh, we were in some tough games.
I could see.
Valorant's. We'll go into Valorant later. If you had to describe your stream in one word, Peter, how would you describe your stream style?
Oh man, I hate being put on the spot for this stuff. I'll just say chill. We'll just use the word chill.
Chill. Every time I hear chill, I think of Arnold Schwarzenegger from Batman and Robin, where he just has his gun. He's just like, chill. Chill. Terrible movie, but actually a pretty awesome cast.
I keep thinking about Rebel when he was just like a mess.
Yeah, messy. It was just like right away too. Rebel, if you had to describe your stream style, I want like messy. Okay.
Yeah, no hesitation on it.
He had that answer ready. He was waiting for the one day that someone was going to ask him that question, and he had it ready to go.
Dude, he nailed it. Mendy and I were dying as soon as he said it.
So funny, that kid. Oh my god.
For the last thing, like besides playing video games, do you have any other skills, whether it's like video editing or doing audio, or you said earlier you did some YouTube stuff like in the past? Is there any like a hidden talent that you have besides just playing video games?
Yeah, so and some of you already seen some of my work. You just probably don't know on the GGR, but I do some Photoshop work. Something I picked up recently, video editing. Like I said, I've done. Well, I think this was the first time I did it, Mendy, is video editing. I don't think I did anything else with you guys yet.
Don't say too much. Craig might be listening.
I'm not going to say anything else.
You do the promo video for Game Night.
Oh, the promo video, yeah, that was all me.
You made the thumbnail for Game Night as well.
Yep. So the thumbnail was from me.
You also made the thumbnail for some YouTube stuff, which helped me a lot.
Recent
Big
stuff.
Yeah.
Recently been getting into that, so yeah, you guys are starting to see that work. Other than the stuff you're starting to see, like I mentioned earlier, I used to run game servers for a while, working with Linux a bit. Not advanced user, but I knew enough to set something up. I mean, other than that, not too much past that.
I think your thumbnails are grade A.
They're so clean. I've been dying for like clean thumbnails.
The Assassin's Creed one you did, Mendy's just like, yeah, Peter did that, and I was just like, what?
Well, there was. I'm not gonna say what it is, but I just did one just before this, and I'm like showing Mendy. Now, the thing with me is, he was saying it's great, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, no, there's something wrong, and I can't figure it out.
we did like 2 or 3 minor adjustments, and you're like, yeah, this is good. And I was like, before it was just as good beforehand.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
I get picky with stuff. I don't know why, and it's just like
a perfectionist.
But it's crazy how that slight detail and like that work just changes the whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, if you're gonna get slightly better than what you did for the Assassin's Creed one, then it's gonna be like A++, like
Seriously.
on the refrigerator, because that's good, man. And you
could be seeing more of my thumbnails. We might work it out to where I might help him out with that. So,
bro, I'll take some thumbnails just to get thumbnails. I don't even know what it would be about, but
we'll make one for you. Don't worry.
If you're tossing out thumbnails, put me on the list of just
every
I'm gonna make a thumbnail.
every stream. Thumbnail.
I'm gonna make a thumbnail with Stav, and instead of him holding like a Truly or something, I'm gonna put a glass of bourbon in his hand.
There you go.
Just for my entertainment.
No.
You don't like bourbon?
I don't know if I've ever actually like ordered a bourbon or had a bourbon. I've probably taken a shot of a bourbon or something like that. But like
shots of bourbon. Interesting.
When I'm out, bro, I'm out. It's usually tequila. If something else gets thrown in front of me, I'll probably shoot it down real quick. But hey,
I don't do tequila anymore. I black out every time I have it.
I can't do
every single time.
No tequila for me.
Love tequila.
You know, Mendy, if you're like me, stay away from Tequila Rose if you ever hear that one. We were just talking about it, me and my fiance, if you ever heard that one.
No, I don't think so.
It's like a strawberry tasting tequila, but it's like it doesn't taste like alcohol.
Oh.
So, and it's real smooth, and you don't realize it's alcohol, and it sneaks up on you so bad.
That's look at Stav right now.
Go on.
There's actually a restaurant nearby that does like tequila infused drinks, which is really good, which I do enjoy. But tequila itself.
And do you want to have a sleepover and we'll go?
Stop. You would love this place. You would.
I love
tequila, man. He's got his sleeping bag ready.
I just need the floor.
Well, there's a bed where Speedy's at, so you can sleep with Speedy.
Dude, but then you won't be able to use a sleeping bag.
I'll sleep on my beard. It's cool. It's cool. All right. Well, that's a little background, Peter. And Peter, honestly, thank you so much for joining the GGR Discord. Thank you for the work that you do inside the GGR. The videos, game night. Thank you very much for doing it. You do a great job, honestly. And
thanks.
looking forward to what comes next. So, PeterByte, ladies and gentlemen, PeterByte.
The golf clap.
Whatever it is, it will probably follow through with a wall of text.
Send it over, baby. I love communication. Graduated with a degree in communications. Never used it in a day of my life. And now I'm a professional streamer. What's up, baby?
What it do?
Let's transition right into the general discussion one, and let's go inside the GGR. For a lot of people out there, they see the Discord with the channels already set up. They see the raid nights. They see the YouTube videos come out. They see the Instagram posts, the tweets, the game nights, the podcast. They see all that, but they don't see inside of that. And as 3 members on the board committee, we see what kind of goes inside of all those things. And I know for Mendy and myself, the podcast, a big thing we wanted to do was get this on video for people to see. And it was really cool to see it finally turn from just audio to a Twitch show, which people are watching right now, that are watching back on YouTube later, that are still listening on audio on Spotify or Apple or something like that. So it was really cool to see, kind of planted the seed of the video podcast and see it kind of blossom. So let's kind of go into some of the, types of areas that we're talking behind the scenes, some of the conversations that go on behind the scenes. And it's a lot of Craig just yelling at us, which I think is fine. Let's get some exclamation point boomers up in the chat.
It's pretty much Pandora's box in the back end.
So let's start with the Discord, right? And Peter, you kind of mentioned this already. You're a hall monitor in there. You're kind of reviewing some of the stuff that goes into it, and this is if you want to break down what maybe a hall monitor is, some people might not know what this is. This may be why something gets deleted that you may post.
So a hall monitor, I don't know how the name hall monitor came in, but we're pretty much moderators. We just make sure everyone's being friendly, no one's breaking rules pretty much, making sure channels are, as hard as it is sometimes, trying to keep channels on topic based off what category you're in. Yeah, pretty much just overall making sure you guys are having a good experience when you're talking on the Discord.
And this goes like anybody that's in this moderation mode can go in and kind of clean stuff up. And it does get out of hand. We had squirrels attacking us once. We had robots coming in. Don't know what happened.
Breakfast Club.
That was that was insane. That was absolutely insane.
I was very triggered in that moment.
That was all the Breakfast Club. I'm sitting at work on Discord just typing. I got no one from my work watches this, but I'll be sitting in work and we're just sitting there chatting about the most random stuff.
The hall monitor is just there to keep everything clean. Just anything really over the top, really, right? Like,
yeah,
we're pretty
relaxed. Yeah,
for the most part. For the most part,
you guys also do a good job on making sure when there's an affiliate pusher to put them up and make sure people know that they're live and to help them out.
They just call anyone that's online, and then we make sure we shoot it out there. And that way, you guys can go show that support.
Well, that's a huge role, right? Because that's what the GGR is, and we do these affiliate push, and it's been huge. I would say, I know people can't go in all the time to watch the streams, like you might be busy or something like that, but you still get that notification that pops up saying so and so is streaming right now. They're going for affiliate. You just go in there and you just kind of chill out and just have some fun and get to know them a little bit. And
even if you can't talk, if you really want to be supportive, just put a lurk up. Just keep the window open. Go do your own thing. If you have to walk away from your computer, that helps alone right there.
Yeah, like I'll throw a lurk up and go do like 500 air squats. 300 push-ups, no big deal.
Stock up the cooler.
Yeah, go to the store, go for a walk, do lunges all the way back. Stuff like that.
Could you just imagine Stav going down the street, just lunging all the way over?
Honestly, yes, I could.
Yep.
With a headband and like those 2-pound dumbbells, and he just
just 2 packs of Trulies or White Claw.
But lunges at the same time.
Just lunges.
Like deep breathing.
I might have to videotape that. Just like actually do lunges
that
for
would
like
be brilliant.
400 yards. That'd be pretty funny.
You should do that.
There's also like a lot of conversations that go into setting up these types of things. So obviously the hall monitor stuff and the affiliate push didn't come out of nowhere. There was some, background conversations that led up to it, making sure we kind of have it set up right. And these are things that we're all kind of involved in. So we actually have 2 channels for discussion. We have the Discord, which has like a GGR moderators chat. And that's where everybody kind of just goes in, chimes in. Sometimes it gets pretty funny. We get out of hand, but we try to keep it, for the most part, about the Discord and how to help with the Discord. And then we also have Slack, which is kind of the business side of the GGR.
Big shout out to Slack.
That usually tends to be tamed, that one.
I view that as professional, right? Like,
yeah.
Well, I love it so much because you can just send over any kind of file over, and then somebody else can just pick
Slack's
it up, download it.
And Slack's really good, especially for, like you said, transferring video documents.
Yeah,
or
it's
Discord,
huge.
sometimes you get hit with you can't send sometimes you can't even send a picture on Discord.
Yeah, it's weird. You have to pay like a bunch of money just to like upload like a decent sized PNG file or something like that.
So like with Slack, this is where everything kind of goes down. This is where all of our video editors are at. They go in. We have a video edit section that Mendy runs. We throw out ideas. Like this is kind of where we're talking about. We did the Apex tournament. This is kind of where all the ideas went down inside there. Currently, we have another conversation going on about a potential Valorant tournament. So we're having a discussion in there on Slack about it. And once it goes to Slack, this goofiness kind of goes away, and you handle your Slack stuff, right? You do that because that's the business side. And then you might have some fun. That's some fun as well. Make fun of Craig a little bit more, and
all the time.
but like like Mendy, what would a video conversation go like on Slack, or is it just like here's the nuts and bolts, this is what we're looking for, here's the videos, go. Like
Yeah, I guess so. I think it's also a good way to re-edit something too, and just be like, "Hey, I did this real quick. Let me know what you think. Let me get your feedback." Then everyone can watch it on the team, and then in the thread they can write in, "This is good, but maybe we should change this, and that." So for Slack, I love Slack. I think it's great, and having threads in each
threads are huge.
conversation is just kind of helps everything stay organized. If anything, I wish you can like move things, like a moderator can move in conversations into a thread so it can stay within its own conversation. But other than that, it's so helpful, and for file sharing, it's insane.
It helps a lot with just like keeping up with specific topics. It's been really great with that.
I'm a big fan of Slack, and there's a lot that goes into the Discord where we're always trying to come up with, whether this is good or bad, we're always trying to think of how to evolve and how to make the Discord better for everybody. We're trying to think of new ideas, like we added recently, looking for games over the past couple months, which I thought was huge. So you can go to those channels, and if looking for games in Apex or Call of Duty or Valorant, whatever it is, just trying to link people up. And that's what goes on inside these GGR Discord conversations is, let's add a new channel here. People want to take pictures of food. Let's do a food channel or something like that. And those are the types of conversations that go on in the back. And then it goes, and then it comes to life. It shows up in the Discord, and then people use it. We take all suggestions as well. If you have any suggestions, there's a suggestion channel in there. Throw it in, and we'll get it talking about. We'll get things turning and see if it's going to work out for everybody. And these are just some things that you don't see from the GGR side. We did the insider stuff right now, so people do kind of get an inside scoop of some of the stuff we are talking about early. And I thought that was a great addition. I love the GGR Insider. You get to see what's happening on the podcast, who's going to be on for not raid night, game night, any tournaments that might be coming up soon that we're trying to work with. So it's pretty cool. I do like the GGR Insider thing. Yeah. And all you need to do is sub to the channel to any Twitch primers out there. No, I'm just kidding.
And we're still like working on other things we can do onto the Insider, because we want to make it sure it's super worth it for you guys. So we've been working on new ideas on how to improve it even more. Like, it's constant improving on Good Game Report in the background, pretty much.
which is awesome, and I think that's the way you evolve in a Discord community. I've been in this thing for probably a year right now, and from where it started to where it is now, with the help of obviously you guys, Rebel, who crushes it in the Discord thing. It's crazy to see where it is now compared to where it started.
Yeah.
Because it looks like it graduated, went back to school, took it in a different language, graduated again, and like it looks so good right now. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And then also some insider stuff that you don't see is the preparation that go into these live events that are on the GGR Twitch page. So Peter, if you want to just kind of give a little breakdown about what goes into game night, wherever you'd like to take this, just to kind of give them a little inside scoop.
Yeah. So
Power hour.
So power hour. Oh god. So yeah, with the game night, I'm pretty much once Friday ends, I'm usually already working on the next game night. It's pretty much the next day, Saturday. That's when I'm like deciding on who's going to be on game night next. At the latest by Sunday. I usually have someone sorted out for game night by Sunday. For example, I already have this week's game night person ready to go.
Who is it?
I can't tell you. Oh. It's a secret.
Oh.
But you will know on Tuesday if you're on the Insider.
Oh, gotcha.
I decide, try to let them know by Sunday. I get in a voice call with them, give them a quick rundown on what we're going to be doing. It's super relaxed. I'm making it sound way more complicated than it needs to be. But yeah. And then when I talk to them, we discuss maybe doing a promo video now, since we've been doing promo videos. And from there, we kind of sort out how we want it to go that day. Tuesday is when the insiders find out who's going to be on game night. Lately on Thursdays when you guys usually see the promo video that I do. And I also been doing Thursdays. I've been given a heads up on what we're going to be playing on game night that day. But yeah, that's the gist of it. I mean, I try to keep it as relaxed as possible with the people that are on there. It's pretty much what I try to do. But I'm constantly like trying to figure out what we can do to make it even more entertaining for you guys.
I remember working through it with you. It was very, it was very easy. We had good back and forth the entire time.
Yeah.
Like I threw out the power hour idea, and you're like, "All right, let's do it." I think the only issue we had was me trying to not have you sip bourbon the entire power hour. I was just like, Peter, I don't think this is a good idea.
I
like,
don't know if
I
was I in for this conversation, because I remember saying to you guys, like, "Are you sure that's a good idea? Are you sure playing a game and doing power hour is a good idea?"
Luckily, we just stuck to marbles. Like, it got to a point. I think Peter's like, "Screw it, let's just do marbles and hopefully."
Well, no, I said to stick with marbles before that because I knew it was going to be a little crazy to deal with. But
Peter's running the stream, has to drink every minute and focus on marbles.
I don't know who won one game that night. Like, I just didn't pay attention at all.
I had to go back and watch everything to figure out who won. So for the 3 people that won, in case you're watching right now, the reason it took so long for me to get back to you is because I had to figure out who you were.
Pretty much blame Stav for it.
With that said, let me just put this out there because I don't think we actually fully discussed that day. Yeah, I was blacked out drunk before we did the whole singing thing. I was blacked out. Your
idea, not mine. I wanted to do that as the theme. I wanted to do karaoke as the theme.
So I don't think anyone knew that. I was blacked out that whole time. I don't even know how I ran the stream smoothly until the end. I don't know how I did that. So pretty much I blacked out. The next thing I remember is waking up in the morning and go, "Oh crap, what happened?" I ran to my computer to make sure nothing was up. And I was like, okay. Now let me go look and see what happened and recollect my thoughts.
I'm laughing so hard because I know Peter's like #1 rule for streaming is to never get to that point. And then here comes Stav. Yeah, we should do a power hour.
I tried saying don't do it.
But here's the thing. I gotta say, that night, despite being blacked out at that point, I really handled it pretty well moving into it.
I'm surprised. I thought you were not. You seemed like you had a couple of drinks, but
the fact I did the post stream raid and all that without too much issue,
it's a miracle.
It is a miracle because I don't remember any of it.
That's hilarious.
It went very well for the amount of alcohol that was consumed.
I'm gonna have to rewatch the VODs because that's just hilarious. Oh my god.
Yeah, it was bad, and my fiance was like annoyed and then just like cracking up about it the whole time. She was annoyed because she had to deal with me afterwards.
Fair.
It was very smooth, and I think the operation you do for game night comes out because it's always it's right there, and you have everything planned out, and you do have to improv a little bit, but hey, that's what most people have to do anyway. We do a lot of improv.
Pretty good. So that's the other thing with game night. Like while we're on the topic of game night, like a lot of times what we're doing, we have a set plan of what we're gonna do, but it goes completely a whole different way when we're going through it. Like for example, the karaoke thing, I told Stav no on that. Obviously, I was blacked out and I ended up doing it anyway. But the singing was not supposed to happen that day.
I wanted it so bad. I wanted a karaoke. I wanted Twitch sings the entire night.
He's only lucky because I got to that point.
It would have been terrible for everybody listening if I was Twitch singing the entire night, but
people seem to weirdly enjoy it, so I don't know, Stav. Maybe it could have been a good thing.
If we do a GGR Twitch sings night, count me in.
That's not a bad idea. Count me
Backstreet Boys is coming out hot.
Count me out unless you get me blacked out drunk again.
Tell me why ain't nothing. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'll do it right now. Let's switch it over. Menders.
Yeah.
Let's go into the YouTube stuff in the top 10 because You are the what would you say your role? King video editor,
I don't even know. Edit
YouTube year, the YouTube
producer
year,
year,
producer.
YouTuber year.
We'll call you Mr. YouTube year right now, and kind of talk about what goes into the videos that go into YouTube, the top tens that you were doing.
Yeah.
Just a little insider, a little inside your
Insider year. I guess you could say I manage all the YouTube videos that we produce, edit. I try to make sure it looks clean, try to make sure all the keywords are appropriate for that video so it pops up in your search engine. As far as the top 10 goes, we did it for a little while. I started it. It was like my little baby. I was cradling it, and and now I just gotta yep.
like a cat just sitting here. Yeah.
But I think so. Now what we're trying to do is transition it to another person so I can focus on like more of the YouTube role and more of the podcast stuff. And so get ready for a new top 10. It's gonna be very exciting. And then we post all of the podcast stuff on here. We're even trying to cut it up a little bit, showing like specific topics we're posting on YouTube. So I feel like we're always trying to improve YouTube because there's so much to do. It's to me personally, I feel like it's a very difficult platform to grow on, and it's difficult to get other people to like kind of tune in to YouTube videos. So always improving, always trying to get stuff in, always trying to get cool new content, always trying to video edit some new fun idea. And yeah, that's pretty much my role as far as YouTube goes.
And if you are lucky enough and we get day streamer Mendy, you usually take one of those days and you try to do a video edit, which is really cool because you can kind of see the process that he does. I think the last one you did was one of the weekly top tens.
It was,
and you do like the animations and everything. I remember you were doing roommate Drew and Danks with the water bottle, and like you had the roommate Drew circling around like the water bottle coming up and everything.
Yeah,
and it's impressive. It's a skill. It's a skill that you have, and you definitely put a lot of hard work into each and every one of those videos, including the podcast that you spit out here. So keep growing the YouTube, man. I feel like the YouTube's doing a really good job. The keywords and stuff certainly help.
Yeah.
But that goes into the stuff that you already know, and certain keywords are going to hit better for certain videos. And I think you do a great job with it. I do.
Thank you, Stav. And you do help me out too. So big preach on that, homie.
I just say random stuff, and if
you make the good content, and just the keywords have to go around that.
Big keyword guy. Big keyword guy.
Yeah, it's big on that because we use like a Chrome extension to help us give out like the rankings for each keyword, and I try to finesse it so we at least show up on that front page. That's why with Peter, I was like, I need your thumbnails, dude, because we can get to that front page.
Thumbnails are huge, dude. They are huge.
I feel like before we were kind of lacking on it, and it doesn't matter if we're the front page. If it's not a good title and if it's not a good thumbnail, like people aren't going to care if it's on there or not.
I've mentioned this before. Tim the Tap Man probably you can see when it switched over his daily YouTube videos. It might have been 6 months ago or something. He switched over to like action thumbnails to catch your attention, and his videos have been crushing it ever since, dude. Like he'll be like holding his face like this, and the editor like cuts it out and puts like maybe Courage or someone with them, and
it's like super clean and professional too. Like you can tell like you can tell a video is gonna be well done if the thumbnail is up to par as that as well.
I beg to partially differ.
What do you think, Peter?
No.
I beg to differ on that.
No, you cannot differ.
You don't think thumbnails matter?
No, thumbnails matter, but that doesn't mean it's going to be a good video.
True.
That's where I go at.
True, but if I see a bad thumbnail, I'm going to be like, they don't know how to video edit.
On first impression, it does make a difference in sense of like, yeah, we'll bring someone on, but that's what I mean. Like, it just doesn't mean like when you click on it, it's going to be great. But
True.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, those thumbnails definitely, and keywords, as you kept stressing.
I'm a big keyword guy.
It's awesome. Now we have a thumbnail guy.
Oh, we got a
I'll
thumbnail
take
guy.
I'll take 10 thumbnails, Peter, right tonight.
10.
Send them over. Let's I'll go into the raid night a little bit here, which is going to be restarting up on Wednesday. I'll just announce it because heck it. J Cubed and Wacky Prozac are going to be doing the raid night on Wednesday this week, 8 p.m. same time as in the past. They're going to be starting it up. I can talk about like what went into it. So Mendy and I would do it. Mendy would, run the stream on his side, and I would go on to when we first started on Twitch, dude. And thinking back to like those first couple raids that we found people on Twitch, it just like made me sick to my stomach.
What do you mean?
We would like control F, and we'll try to find like affiliate pushers on Twitch. Like we would browse a game.
Yeah. You were nervous about that? I'm confused.
And then we started using Twitter, and Twitter was just so much better for finding people to raid. Like,
yeah,
dude, Twitch was tough. Like, it would take us almost like 45 minutes to like find like an affiliate pusher for a game that we were trying to get. And now on Twitch, I would go on at 7:00. I would just do hashtag road to affiliate or path to affiliate. Find someone, get to know them, make sure they're like safe to broadcast, and someone that I think would fit our community. Yeah. And I would go in, chat it up. I would pretend I was working. I always said I was a security guard. Like, I just got to the night shift. I'd be like, oh, what do you do? Because like most of the time it was just me in there. Affiliate pushers just kind of starting out, don't really have that much thing. So I had a lot of time to talk to the streamer, and I would just say, yeah, I just got to the night shift. I'm working security. And then when it would start up at 8:00, I'd be like, hey, I have to go make rounds real quick. And they'd be like, I'll be back in like 15, 20 minutes, I swear. And then I would come back once we would raid in, and everybody would just show the love and be like, how do you guys find me? Be like, yeah, I'm not really a security guard. I was kind of working, though. I work with the raid night and GGR. So, but like, it was like a nice little connection for that 30 minutes that I had with the person leading up to the raid night.
Stav would get really married with the person he gets into the streams.
Well, I felt like it made a better connection when the GGR would come over, and I really wanted to put that time in to get to know that person and be like, okay, this is going to be a fun stream. Peter, the one we did,
I was about to say I got to see it firsthand.
like both of us were like, this is going to be a really good one, and like just the reaction right away from once we all went into this streamer's stream, it was just so genuine. He was so happy, and just seeing that reaction from the people is so cool. And a lot of people that we raid into are in the GGR Discord still. Obviously, some have fallen off, which is fine. Because GGR is just supporting gamers, whether they're in our Discord or not. It's gamers supporting gamers, and seeing that come full circle from first, saying, "Hey, what's up?" to GGR's rating with 30 people, and their reaction of being so happy was just so cool, and you really loved it. Props to Max and Rebel for holding down the UK one. And
that was funny.
And now we got J Cube and Wacky, which are going to be going on Wednesday now at 8 p.m. Eastern. So it's going to be cool to kind of see that as well.
The UK one's still going though, isn't it? Are we keeping that going?
I would like to. It gives me something to do at 3:00 on a Thursday. So
I will say that first day that they did that,
the music.
Oh man, the music and all. I was sitting here just dying the whole time listening. And then they come on and they had the teacups and all. It was gold.
Rebel kills it. I just laugh, just like if he just like smiles, I'll just laugh at Rebel.
Some of the characters we have on the team, I tell you,
it's truly fascinating. It's truly fascinating. And for the last thing I want to talk about is the podcast, and we have 3 different angles here. I guess I'll start for the podcast. So as you guys know, I'm the host of the podcast. And from the host side, we have Peter, who's going to take it from the guest side, and then Mendy from the producer side and the co-host side as well. From my end, Mendy and I will have a little back and forth, usually on Monday, the day after, the thing's over, and try to angle who we want to have on next. We're trying to get through all the people on the GGR content team right now. And because it's long overdue, we should have had everybody on right away as soon as they, said, yeah, I'm on the team. And so we're going through everybody right now. So we threw out, hey, Mendy, you want Peter on this week? Yep, I want Peter on this week. Type Peter. Hey, you good for Sunday? No. What about Monday? You're bang. We're in.
Get it done.
And we lock that down, and then we kind of take we chill out for a couple days, right?
Yeah.
And then we really get going on Wednesday. I like to get firing. I want just throw out random things to talk about starting Wednesday. So you have Tuesday off. You can take a break. You don't have to think about it. If something pops up, we usually throw it in there still. But Wednesday is when it really starts gassing up. We'll throw out a bunch of the. I like to lock down the general discussion things first, because the gaming news you can let build up for a little bit because it's only Wednesday. But if you have the general discussion things, the 1 and 2, then we're usually good. And then the gaming news kind of fills out. Friday, I throw an agenda together. And then we just sit and wait if anything pops up. Like last week, we had a bunch of things hit
A lot of stuff.
Saturday and Sunday that almost filled up the entire gaming news.
Yeah.
So it's just constant communication, updating the agenda, giving it to the Mendy and the guest for that week. And then really all I have to do is drink a Bang Energy Sunday night, get my energy up, have a White Claw, maybe a Truly or two, and then smile for all the beautiful people at home. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up. But it's not hard work, but it does take some time to put everything together. And I honestly have a blast doing it. It's this is a show now, and I like to think of it as we're running a show, and it's like writing a script that I have in front of me, and then I just have to think of the words once the camera's on. But that's from the host side. We'll go to Mendy for this one since it's kind of the same thing, and then we can head over to the guest. So Mendy, what's up, bro?
What it do, baby? What it do? So yeah, I show up, I say "yer," and then my people in the my "yers" in chat just go "yer," and then I look at them and they look at me and we just go "yer."
So when you do your second year, like what goes into like that second year at the beginning?
Well, so that used to be the biggest years, but now we've transitioned to 3 years. So I saved the biggest year for the 3 years.
Well, that's because you and Danks did a year scale, and the year came out from the year scale. So like we have to incorporate the triple year.
Shout out to Danks, one of the homies.
Benny, talk about kind of what goes on after the podcast.
Okay.
It's like once it closes down, and then leading up to the promo videos.
I might even have to take a little step back from that as well. I'm trying to think here. we pick a guest, and then the first thing I say to the guest is like, send me your clips, send me a
you
picture.
Yell at him though.
Yeah, I feel like it's very aggressive.
Yeah, they do.
Because
Peter's like,
there's no hey, what's up, how you doing? There's no year. It's straight up, send me your clips, send me like a good picture of yourself so we could use it for the thumbnail on YouTube. And then from there, we use that to create a promotion for the podcast. And then we put it on our social media and we show it before we start the podcast. And I feel like it adds a nice element to it so people kind of get familiar with their guests and they know what time they should tune in and where they can watch it. And then once that's done, pretty much what Stav said, we just kind of send each other articles, what should we talk about, blah, 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 blah. And then before the podcast, I'll add in the promo video on here and then, make sure everything's set up, looks nice for the podcast. And then audio is huge. I mess around with the audio all the time. I feel like I can never get it done right. But luckily,
that's my fault.
it's always a nightmare. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward once we kind of get the podcast going. Then afterwards, I'll try to edit it down. I'll try to mess with the audio in Premiere, and then I'll post it onto our YouTube channel at GoodGameReport. And then we'll also post it on Anchor, and that sends it out to like every podcast platform you could possibly imagine. So pretty much once this is done, I'll finesse it a little bit, work my magic, and then I'll post it. And then Stav promos it out. He sends out all the notifications where you can tune in and watch it. So that's pretty much what I do on my end. I just stream it, put some magic in it, and then I export it out. So you guys can either rewatch it, or if you weren't able to tune in during the live stream, you can watch it on the YouTube channel. Or if you don't have time to watch it, then you have another outlet which is just tuning in and listening in on the audio podcast of it, which is really cool. I like the idea of having as many possible ways to tune in, whether you're in the car, or you're cooking, or you're just sitting on your computer desk. Whatever you can do, we sent out something so you guys can tune in on it.
Doing lunges back from the liquor store.
Yeah.
And and to be fair, like Mendy was kind of thrusted into the producing role. But once we switched over to the video things, he was
just supposed to be a year guy, man. Now I'm doing all this year stuff.
And he took over, and I think with the current setup now, I think you're gonna really enjoy dominating the podcast. And we're always trying to improve the podcast, Mendy and I are. And to see it where it is now, it's just really cool. As I mentioned, it was strictly audio before. It was bad audio. Like everybody just had bad headsets. So it's cool to see where it is now. This is episode 40 of the podcast.
That's nuts.
And from 1 to 40, it's night and day, and it's really cool to see where it is now, and it's only going to get better. And a lot of that goes into the behind the scenes stuff, and Mendy as well for putting everything together. Now let's go from the guest side. Now Peter's a little hurt because Mendy yelled at him to start off everything. Give me your clips.
Send me your stuff.
I will say though, it is super important to get those clips like right away
as
for
early
our
as
guests,
possible. Yeah.
So we can just get the editors going on it. All right, like it's because if it's done soon enough, like if it's done by Wednesday, you can use it for raid night or something like that.
Yeah.
Like it just makes it very easier. So I understand the aggression towards it, and I do think it's deserved. I think you need the clips right away. So Peter, let's kind of talk about as a guest, walk us through kind of what you went through from your end.
So it's pretty much like as you were already saying, last week Mendy contacted me, yelled at me, told me I was going to be on here no matter what, against my will.
He was like, Sunday can't do it. I was like, all right, Monday night.
Monday you're doing it. No. And you're like, yeah.
Well, for me personally, I don't normally do media stuff on Sunday and Mondays, so that's why I had to work.
Peter, we were gonna have to get the dong in here if you weren't gonna do it. So
please don't do that.
I'm trying to delay as much as possible.
He yells at me.
Getting the dong on here. I might just add people to the content team just so we can push the dong back even further. Reach out to me if you're looking to apply.
There's an application you can fill out. So
yeah, just contact me. You're in. Trust me.
So Mendy yells at me. Tells me I'm going to be on there. And then he's like, all right, so if you can, give me a high-res photo and the clips so that way they can get all of the back-end stuff, the promo video. And
you were very fast to bring that out, so thank you for that.
And so he asked me for that, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll do it when I get a chance. About 5 minutes later, here you go.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Mendy's just like, yes. He's so happy.
But yeah, as I said, it was quiet for like a day or so, and then that's when it started. I started seeing it pick up, and they were starting to talk about topics about that we can discuss. So like by the time today came, I already knew what we were going to be discussing. I did a bad job thinking how I was going to respond to stuff, but I knew what we were going to respond, what I needed to respond to.
I just like, yes, we have an agenda up there, and it's. It's kind of just like what's on my mind going through it as I'm going, each topic, what I like all the extra dashes. I do it on Notepad. Mendy hates it.
It's just an excuse for me.
I don't have Microsoft Word.
I just like yelling at him.
Well, like I don't have Microsoft Word.
It's a good thing though. It's a good thing to have. Like I actually appreciated that you did that because I felt more comfortable coming in because I knew what to expect when I came in.
Yeah. I just like having something to go off of. What it might not be organized, but at least it gives everybody a sense of being on the same page going into the podcast. And I think that's the difference between, a good show and a good podcast and then something that's just, improvised the entire time. Like, hey, let's talk about this. And then everybody's not on the same page. this takes 15, 20 minutes to do.
Mhm.
And I really think it sets up, I think it's the backbone of the podcast. It helps me kind of angle and, make sure to go here and here and here and just run it through. Sometimes it goes on for 2.5 hours. I don't freaking care because I have a great time freaking doing it the entire time. So,
but for a podcast though, I feel like that's important to have that outline. Like I wouldn't do an outline for a game night because that's not the platform for it.
Mhm.
Like game night, you just go out and have fun, make sure the community's having fun, and that's it. For a podcast, I feel like it's important to have this laid out. So
there is some, improvising that goes into it. Like if we're running
Always.
like extremely long or something like that, then we might have to cut something out. But
Sometimes like one conversation is just so good to like you just got to keep going with it.
For
You
sure.
just kind of go with the flow. So it's
yeah,
it's I always consider the notes as like a guideline. It's not something that we definitely do. It's just something that we can just kind of move forward on and figure out what we want.
I love when stuff goes on. Like if it's something that like I say that's just gonna be like, hey, we can hit on this quick,
Yeah.
and that turns into a 10, 15-minute conversation just because it's so spicy.
Yeah.
Like I'm all about it, man. Like good content's good content, and
Facts.
I'm not gonna step on the brakes and put a fire out with my shoe if it's if it's blazing. So
and it works. It works for this podcast now. And I'm not saying this because I'm part of the Good Game Report team.
if you're
but,
saying
like,
this because you're
even-
part of the Good Game Report team, I'm gonna be pissed.
Don't breach your
But
contract,
even-
Peter.
Even when I first joined the community before I got involved with everything, when I listened to the podcast, it is super easy to listen to. Like you guys do a really good job with that. And I was able, so I bike to work. So I live in a city. So I live in Philadelphia, as I mentioned, and I bike to work. And it was so easy to listen to it while being able to concentrate on the road, obviously too, because you guys just do a real good job on laying everything out, and I don't have to worry about missing too much. Even when you go off topic a little bit, it's not that bad. Like it's easy, it's enjoyable to listen to.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Peter.
I just made the day, teardrop.
just to let everybody know, most of this podcast, it's like me going rah rah rah, and then Mendy gives like a ear. So like, if you miss anything throughout any topic whatsoever, just expect meow, 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 and then ear, meow, 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 ear, and that's it. And that's the 2 hours. Boom, nailed it.
What?
And thanks for listening. What's up? I'm Stop.
Peter just put his heart and soul into how he felt about this, and then you're just like, yeah, if you guys miss anything, it's just a bunch of
You guys know you're gonna have to do a podcast where that's all you're saying the whole time now.
Oof.
Oof.
Wow.
Well, I hope everybody liked that insider of the inside of the GGR a little bit. We went in on the Discord, the raid nights, the game nights, the podcast, the YouTube stuff, the videos, and hopefully everybody that's watching from the GGR kind of has a better idea of what goes on behind the scenes, because they're the unsung heroes. And I said this about Rebel when Rebel was on with the Discord. Unsung hero Rebel is, because nobody really sees him as the guy who's putting it all together, but he structured it all together. So the inside of the GGR is what makes the GGR, and it's the hard work that goes in behind the scenes that helps out, and it's because of people like Mendy and Peter that it happens. So I hope you guys got a little spicy information from that. I thought that was interesting. Peter's idea from our agenda discussion that we had. So very good job, Peter, with that one. You love to see it. Quick note, I love when guests have a conversation that they want to talk about. I love it.
But it also helps that I just spew out ideas all day. So
I think it's helpful though, because it kind of gets the wheels turning. Even it gets the ball rolling.
That's the first thing I asked. I said, "Do you have a discussion point you want to talk about?" And the answer every single time is, "I'll talk about anything, man." I'm just like, that's like the last thing I want to hear. And
yeah.
So I appreciated when you said that.
Yeah, well, like my thought process though, like for me, like I always get curious what happens in the back end of stuff. Like I like to know what leads up to what you end up with. Like, no matter what I watch, it could be TV, YouTube videos, a stream, whatever. That's how I started with streaming. It's because I just that curiosity. So I'm like, and when I talked to Stav, I was like, we should do a part of the podcast where this is what we talk about for those that are the same as me, just curious about what goes on. So I'm glad
it was great. And I was so happy when you said that. Because thinking of two general discussion things is hard. So when I only have to think about one, it makes it easier. Let's go into gaming news, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go into gaming news. This is so we've had a bunch of really good weeks for gaming news, I feel. It was really dry for like the first part of 2020, and it's like been picking up recently, which is good and bad because now we have like a ton of stuff to talk about. But I'll talk all freaking night. So let's dive right in. We're gonna open up with Apex. All right, and I'll open with this. Mendy, do you love when this new season of Apex is coming out just because of the content they put out there?
Yes. But I feel like this time around, I'm not as excited about it as I used to be. I used to be really into the whole Apex stuff, and now it's just kind of, I don't know. Do you feel the same way?
I love the content. I think it's because we haven't played it in a little bit. Like we were deep in we were ready for season 4. Like
True.
we were hard. We were playing Apex every night.
True.
And like the Revenant stuff was coming out, and we were like, okay, this is cool.
Yeah.
Like
they did a great job on finessing us, and this character's coming out. Oh no, we're gonna kill
Forge, him, dude. Rip Forge.
But I think Valorant's been ruining it for you.
for me specifically, yeah. Valorant's just taking over.
They do these new videos. I don't care. Like this could be 5 years down the road from now, and I might not even have Apex anymore on my system that I'm on. If they keep doing content like this, like the new character video Loba, I'm in. I love this stuff. I think the videos that they do, that they drop leading up to the new season, leading up to the new character, is so freaking cool.
Did you enjoy the newest one they had though with Loba? I felt like it was just kind of like dry. It wasn't like a huge hype behind it. Because we all kind of had a feeling that like who the next character was going to be. I
didn't think she would be the new character yet. I didn't know that the timeline for the Revenant one. So for the people that don't know, Loba and Drade is the new character that's coming out. They did this with Forge last time.
Mm-hmm.
It really effed me up. I was pumped to play Forge. I was like, dude, this dude's tough. And he got killed. Loba is the little girl from the Revenant video from season 4. And she's out to revenge Revenant or
avenge your father's death.
Yeah, or something like that. Nobody plays Revenant, so you're not gonna be able to kill the Revenant. That's just the way Apex is. But so she's like all grown up now. She's a new character. She's a thief.
Seems like it.
I don't know what her special skills could be.
I think the new video's coming out soon.
That's tomorrow, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Tomorrow. So we'll see what her things like. Do you guys have any Peter, Mendy, any ideas of what her abilities could possibly be? Like, do you like steal health?
No, normally, I would tune in and try to figure it out, but like this time, I'm not really that like.
Like the gifts they're even throwing out there are kind of confusing.
Oh yeah,
like one looks like an underground space station. The other one was like a code or.
Yeah.
But I mean, Loba could be cool. I mean, the new characters they've come out with the past, I get really pumped for. Like Crypto, I was like, Crypto looks tough. I could mess with Crypto. Sucked. Revenant looked tough as nails. Sucked. Like, when are they gonna drop a character that people are gonna use though? Like, honestly, that's a real question right now. It's like nobody's using Crypto. Nobody's really using Revenant. Like, when are they gonna is it just for content? Like, what's going on? Come on, Apex, give us something.
It was a useful character.
Like, seriously though, like, and I'm just thinking about it now. I don't even have it written down. Just like, you can have all these cool characters come out and do these, cool storylines, but I wanted to use Revenant so bad. I wanted to main Revenant just from the videos.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people did,
and I couldn't. So like, what they have to? There has to be a difference here. You have to give us a usable character. And I can't think of any of the skills that a thief could have. Like maybe like you can't see them, but that's already kind of race thing. Like, or they're sneaky or something like that. Like you can't hear their footsteps, or maybe they're all silenced weapons.
What if they
That would
do
be
some
pretty
like?
cool. That'd be pretty cool.
What if they do something like ridiculous, like you can just randomly switch weapons with someone on the field? Like you don't choose who you want, but just randomly just do that, and you end up with someone else's weapon.
Like
Get somebody's Kraber.
But like you have to be like pretty close with that person. I'm guessing, right? Like
I don't know. I feel like that would be a cool mechanic, though.
I feel
like it would be a game changer, especially like late game.
Yeah.
I think they have to be sneaky. Imagine if like their alt was like everything silent, every weapon silent. Like you can't hear it.
I don't think they're gonna go that route, but that would be interesting.
I don't think so either.
And then definitely something has to be stealing though, because what thieves are sneaky and they steal stuff. So
yeah.
I'm gonna go with the silence. I'm going with that. That's my guess for one of her alts. Unless she gets killed off offhand.
If I had to think offhand, I feel like that would be the way they could go with it. I couldn't think of any other way. Like I don't know the character too much. I didn't follow through with it too much, but just from what I do know,
there's not much. There's not much.
Yeah.
So we'll see tomorrow. Everybody on Tuesday, it'll be out. Dude, they need to do a Netflix show on this. They do.
They need to do a Netflix show with Bloodhound, the one they did with, like the video event that they did.
Yep,
that was awesome.
And that's what pisses me off with Apex, right? Because that Bloodhound one was so sick, right? Middle of the season, they drop a 15-minute, basically show on us.
Yeah,
about Bloodhound. Like, just give us more of this. Come on.
I feel like it would be interesting.
Chill.
I feel like it would be interesting just to see like a show or movie, just like based off that whole universe, like with Titanfall and all that. Just in general, just an interesting thing.
Yeah.
You could do every character though too. This is gonna get wicked sidetracked right now, but this is what we're here for. You see like the Marvel Netflix shows like Daredevil, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, right?
Yep.
I always wanted Mortal Kombat to do that, right? So it's a series about each Mortal Kombat person, right? So you have like a Scorpion one, a Sub-Zero one, like Johnny Cage and Liu Kang are in the movies like already, so like you kind of know them.
I mean, at least with Mortal Kombat though, like a lot of their backstory just completely mashes together. Like Sub-Zero and Scorpion, their whole backstory is just resolved around each other. So like you couldn't fully just do that.
I guess you would have to pair them up then, and
you would have to do some kind of like either pairing or
way into
the whole.
That's not a bad idea though.
Netflix up. I'm stop.
But they just released
10%.
15.
Well, speaking of the Mortal Kombat, they just came out with Mortal Kombat. They came with Scorpion, a Scorpion movie. I don't know what it's about, but it's like an animated movie they just came out with.
I'm out. I want real life Netflix stuff. Those Marvel Netflix shows. If Apex did this, each character got like an 8, or they're all together. I'll honestly do either one, or you just choose one character, or do one character. Like if Mirage is like the popular one, I guess. Nobody uses Mirage, but actually Deuces uses Mirage. Deuces.
I think it would be interesting, just like if they went that route. You put in nobody that's kind of going through the whole ropes of the Apex Legends tournament, and just all the people you're familiar with from the game just kind of make appearance on there, and you see what's going on through their day-to-day life. People dropping left and right as you go through the episodes.
I want it, man. I want it, and I think we need it because they do a really good job. Apex does a good job with this stuff. Netflix does an even better job with those types of series, just from watching the Marvel stuff.
Well, even most recently, The Witcher. The Witcher was really amazing. Like watching that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Way to ruin a segment, Peter. Let's move to Assassin's Creed, huh?
We were talking about Netflix, so.
Peter, you're pretty pumped for Assassin's Creed, right?
Actually, yeah.
Guess what? We're skipping over it. Let's move on to GTA.
Oh, all right.
No, I'm just kidding. So Assassin's Creed announced Valhalla. It's their new game. looks pretty tough. Dude, not gonna lie, looks pretty tough.
Yeah.
For a few months now, there was a rumor out that it was going to be Viking based. So like I had a feeling that's what it was going to end up being, and I'm super excited to see how it's going to turn out. I saw the trailer and I'm like, I gotta get this.
I saw it's coming out. Like Vikings are tough. Do you guys watch the show Vikings? On
I
History Channel
heard it's good. I haven't, but I heard it's good.
I haven't watched it either. But man, I love like those tight haircuts on the side, with, like the crazy stuff up top.
Like
you got
the fur coats going.
Yeah, dude, it's tough.
Yeah.
When Fortnite dropped their Viking village on top of that mountain, with like the two characters, I was like, dude, I'm going here.
I'm only dropping there here on out.
I loved that place, dude. That was so cool. Like anything Viking, I'm in. Thor Bjornsson, the mountain from Game of Thrones, way in. Dude just deadlifted 1.1 pounds, dude. Broke the record.
I saw that.
Vikings are tough. And I think this is exactly what Assassin's Creed. You think they were like holding on to this game and we're like, all right, when things get tough, we're gonna drop Vikings on them. Like it's just like an ace up their sleeve. They're just like holding on to it and be like, play it. And they just throw the Vikings on the table and they're like, let's go.
Well, it's definitely an really interesting topic. Like, I like the Viking stuff. I mainly like the mythology behind it.
For sure. I think it's a big
that's
aspect.
Where
it seems like they are trying to tie into that as well, which is really cool.
And not even like the whole Odin and Thor stuff. Like, I like the other like backstories to those too. Like, it's just an interesting thing, and I'm really curious how they're going to turn this out to be, especially since, for those that are not familiar with Assassin's Creed, pretty much the gods are the precursors that are in the series, which are just like the civilization before humans, which is why they're seen as gods. But
so
I'm really curious.
Let's take a run down Assassin's Creed right now. So, I mean, how many games are we in? Peter, you might be able to answer this. Are they close to 10? Probably
about there.
They probably have to be in there.
If you include the like sub games, yeah, they're definitely around 10.
So and this is me, and then we'll work down the line here, see how everybody feels about this. But Assassin's Creed to me dried out. There was a period where it was, I played probably the first 4, and I thought they were so cool.
I feel like they pumped it out like one after the other too.
Every year,
which is nuts.
It was so new, like when it first came out. I was like, this is really sweet. And then like by the 4th one, I was just like, haven't I done this before? Like
it got very repetitive.
It was like the same weapons too, and it was just sneaky. So I just kind of like stopped playing it, right? And I had some interest in the pirate one, and I was like, nah, I'm not gonna play it. This one looks tough. You throw a Viking at me who's gonna be like drinking jacked with an axe or something like that, dude, this might get me back in. Peter, I don't know if you're similar or if you have a different aspect on it.
So funny enough, like I was just mentioning to you before we started the stream, like I started playing from the earlier games. I started Brotherhood this time because I played 2 not too long ago, and 1 is a little bit, it didn't age well, Assassin's Creed 1. So it's hard to play. But either way, I was into it up until Black Flag, which is the 4th one. And then I kind of lost interest from there. Like there was I know there was like Unity, which I played. It was okay. Then you had Rogue, and then there was a couple. There was another one, and then I didn't fully play again until Odyssey. I heard Origins was really good, and if you like Odyssey, they said you're gonna like Origins. But with Odyssey, it just didn't feel like an There was elements of Assassin's Creed in there, but it didn't feel like an Assassin's Creed game to me. There was just something about it that was different. So when it comes to Valhalla, I'm excited for it again. It's the mechanics are a little bit different. Yeah, there's little hints of Assassin's Creed still in there, aside from story elements. But it's really got me into it to the point where I think I'm gonna pre-order it. Like I don't pre-order games often, but I'm considering it.
Mendy, what do you think? We posted the trailer on YouTube. The trailer was awesome. I really loved it. Is this Vikings theme enough to get you back into it, or are you just kind of gonna write this one off as well?
So I'm big on like longevity of games, which is something I've definitely talked about before. I love the trailer. It looks awesome. I don't think I'm going to pre-order it. I don't think I'm going to get it right away. I'll probably wait till the price drops. But
This game has like $30 in like 3 months after it releases written all over it.
yeah.
Especially if it tanks
Really?
too. If it tanks, it does not do well. This will drop in price fast.
Obviously, we don't know anything about the gameplay yet, but if it's anything like Odyssey, I think you're going to get well worth your money. Because Odyssey, I have not even beaten yet because there's so much content in it. There's well worth over $60 worth of content in it. In my opinion. But that's how I justify it.
I just like it for the campaign. Like, I know there's a bunch of other side things and you can do it. I don't know. I don't even know how they do it anymore. There's like a ranking system. You can get like a certain amount of stars out of it if you complete all the little side missions within the campaign. I just want to see the campaign. I just want to see the story to it. Like, I don't really want that extra stuff. It is nice, and I think a lot of games should have that. But with Assassin's Creed, I just kind of want to run through it and kill like anything on site with my hidden knife and just have fun with it. But after that, like, I won't play it again. Like, I don't know. I'm weird with games, and that one in particular, I'm kind of stuck with.
That was like the new God of War to me. I was like so hooked on Fortnite, but I love God of War so much that all I really wanted to do was the main campaign. And like that was my focus. It was like complete the main campaign so I can get back to cranking 90s in Fortnite. And like I dabbled into like the extra stuff in the God of War, but I know exactly what you're saying, Mendy. Like, I want the story.
Yeah.
Right?
Because they do a great job on the story.
And like all the extra stuff's cool. And like, yeah, if you're vibing, like Skyrim, like I did the main campaign and then I was like, well, I'm gonna complete the other 75% of this game because I love the campaign. I love the main storyline so much. So like that's definitely one of the games where I am gonna wait until it drops in price because I do believe it will drop in price. And especially, if it's good and it drops in price, I get it for $40, then I'll do it.
Yeah.
If it's bad and it drops to 20, that's another option right there just because I love Vikings so much. And I'm going to name myself Thor.
That's the thing with these games. Like, it's tough to get games these days right out of the gate or pre-order them because you don't know what's going to happen. Like, what happened? What was that other game you really like, Stav, and you're so mad at it? God, I can't remember now. Fallout? The newest Fallout?
Fallout 76.
Yeah.
Sucked.
Oh yeah, that was bad.
So many people were so hyped for it, and then it just
I went out and bought it right away.
Yeah,
I was actually smart about it because now I was a Fallout fan too, and I pre-ordered 4. I love 4. There wasn't as much, I guess, dialogue in it as the other ones, like the creativity of the dialogue and all. But I still enjoyed it. But when I saw 76 and they're like, "Oh, it's multiplayer," I was one of those people where I was like, "Yeah, I don't want that."
I was so jacked up for that game. I actually guess I just watched a video saying that they have completely like redone 76.
Yeah,
and
I was just about to say,
it's like good now, but I'm not touching it. Nope.
Nope. I won't touch it. I'll wait for the next. I'll wait for Fallout 5 when they.
Bro, I ain't feeding myself. I'm not giving myself steak to stay alive. Not doing it. Give me a med kit. I don't have time for that crap.
But yeah, like with games in general, though, it's really rare for me to pre-order any games anymore. And when I do, I have to really like it. Like, for example, Resident Evil 3 was a no-brainer pre-order for me because I just love the Resident Evil franchise. But yeah, I think Valhalla is going to be the next one.
If you guys had to, and we're projecting into the future here, and we'll start with you, Peter. If you had to guess the next theme of Assassin's Creed, Vikings, like Egyptians, like these are some that we've had in the past. The Civil War has been up there. What would you go with?
Well, I'm trying to think about what they have now. I don't know. I would like to see one revolve around like China around the like what's the era? Like the Three Kingdom era and all that. Where was it, like the Battle of the Three Kingdoms? I forget what the era is called.
What about one with like where they're putting up the Great Wall to like set up everything? Like, wasn't that like a huge battle back in like the history of?
So the Great Wall was put up to keep. Oh man, my history's rough when it comes to.
Yeah, we
China
probably
stuff.
should have really done our global.
Well, we didn't know we were going to get in this conversation, but
was it
it's in the notes.
It's in the notes. Okay. No, I would definitely like to see one there. Now they did make a China based like 2D platformer one, but I don't know what it's about. It's like Chronicles, and I would like to see an actual one made. That's where I would go.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
There's so much history over there. Like, there's got to be like a period
Yeah.
that they can go into, and that's basically what Assassin's Creed is, right? They pick a history of like a time or something like that. Like there was like a Civil War one or something like that, and then a bunch of like the European stuff, which is, I mean, it's cool because I love those kind of like, I love movies that like go into like those genres.
Yeah.
So like get to play a game. Mendy, what would you choose?
I'm gonna throw you a curveball like I usually do, stuff.
I hate curveballs.
I'm going into the future, like further than what they would normally do in their timeline.
Okay.
The First World War. Assassins in that.
See,
Boom.
I can see that happening. I can see that happening now.
They still have the hidden blades, they're still doing their things. It's still like one-on-one combat, maybe a little bit more shooting involved.
But the thing with World War One too, and now like being in school and all, I was a history nut when it came to like world wars and all that. The thing with that though, World War One was a lot of trench warfare, so you would have to think, how could they incorporate that?
True.
That's the thing with that.
Maybe they can do some like hidden, sneaky stuff, and they can still like assassinate people. We could think of something.
They could.
Stop.
Just running through the trenches.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go wicked violent. I'm gonna go like an indigenous tribe in like the Amazon.
Oh wow.
And people are like trying to take like their land. They're just like, nah, bro. Nah, ain't
Not
happening.
today, bro. We're gonna eat you, bro.
Well, they already dabbed into the Mayan stuff a little bit on Black Flag. But yeah, again, Amazonian one, yeah, I can
like
see that.
Indigenous, like these, like you don't even know they exist because they're just they're in the forest. They got like blow darts and stuff. Like if you like,
oh man,
either that or like gangs. And speaking of gangs, let's go into GTA 5 here. Role playing online. This stuff's getting bananas out here. And if anybody's listening or watching, you've seen any of the videos going on. GTA 5 role playing / I don't even know how to correctly say it. Like, is it just GTA 5 online?
Yeah, it's
pretty
like
much
the online part of it.
It's getting wild out here, ladies and gentlemen. We have gangs taking over the internet, right? You have these green aliens, you have purple aliens, you have space monkeys, you have men in black, you have hazmat suit gangs, and they are taking over and they're causing drama everywhere. You have green aliens hunting down purple aliens, you have purple aliens hunting down green aliens, holding them for ransom, holding them for hostage.
I can't keep up with it anymore.
I absolutely love this. It's like this past week, I've just seen video after video, and I just die laughing every single one.
I didn't even know about it until you guys mentioned it, because I'm like I'm out of touch with games like that. And like right before we started the stream, I popped up a video, and the first thing was like about the green aliens, and I just started cracking up laughing while we're just sitting here talking. Of course, I was trying to give a rundown, and I'm just laughing.
They're wearing like the onesie suits. And it's just like groups of them, like they'll get in a car and then they'll go hunt down like a purple alien gang member, and they'll either like hit them with their car or they'll like capture them.
But they're all melee weapons, which is great. It's not like a shootout. They just go after each other.
But it's like expanding. So it just started with the green aliens going around harassing people, like regular people. And then someone created the purple alien gang to combat the green aliens, and then like the men in black people came to hunt them.
Yeah.
And Barstool Gaming does a really good job. There's so many videos on Instagram of it, and if you're interested in checking it out, these videos are so freaking funny. I just keep dying laughing every single time. I can't get enough of it.
The short bit of the video I saw with the green aliens earlier kind of has me wanting to go play GTA now.
I have to admit,
I
kind of want to get into it just so I can see like all the craziness that goes on to it.
So this is the tough thing. So this role playing online aspect It's like insanely serious. And I think people first got initiated into it when Tim the Tapman went in. He did Dale Moore's overalls. And he kind of went in. You have to apply to get into these servers, right? And you have to be super serious, like you're actually doing it. And I've been watching a couple people over the past week, ever since I started seeing online kind of take off again. Like Mr. Chang is so freaking funny. Obviously, Tim did a great job with Dale Morris, and I actually watched a guy be a cop. He's like the head of GTA 5 police, and he has an entire unit, and they all have walkie talkies, and that's how they talk to each other. And like there was a crime being committed. He called everybody to the thing. He like shut down roads and stuff, and it's just like over and like, dude, it was 100% serious. Like this dude was pretending to be a cop.
Wow.
It was, and like I don't know if I'd be able to do it. I would break. I want to do it so bad. I want to do it so bad.
So I played GTA 5 a while back, and I did play on basic role-playing servers. Nothing like this, what's going on now.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of those role-playing servers, they did have that whole thing where it was like cops looking for people that are causing trouble on the streets and all that, and arrest them in there. It was like a modded like GTA server. And it's pretty cool how they do it. Like they have the walkie-talkies and all that. And when you're playing, like a lot of those people get super serious. They're doing like... they pretty much sound like actual cops when you're sitting there playing.
Yeah, they're 10-4ing, they're code 19ing, like
10-4.
So I didn't get too much into it, but I just remember my first experiences. I got on there, I did something stupid, someone arrested me, and then I was in the back of a car the rest of the time until I quit.
If what was your character, Peter?
I didn't really have a character. I was like just getting into role playing a little bit at the time, so I didn't really have like a whole character in play. But like shortly after, I do remember this going slightly off topic, but I did get into role playing with a different game, and we'll save that for some other time. But yeah, for that part, I wasn't really into role playing that much.
Do you have an idea of what kind of your character would be if you were to do this? If you were to do it again?
At the moment, I can't think on the spot, but I could probably come up with something ridiculous if I really wanted to.
Mendy, would you have a certain character you would try to, whether it's a certain accent you can do, or...
Honestly, I would probably only want to get into it for the alien stuff. I would only want to get involved with that whole alien like gang warfare going on, because I just think it'd be funny. Like you're just squatted up with your green alien gang, and then you just kind of roll into some random person or like an enemy gang, just like cause hell. I think that's the only thing I would want to do in GTA Online.
It's not so much role playing though. You're just kind of going with a group and just going in.
I'm like oddly, insanely intrigued about potentially doing a role playing Grand Theft Auto. I just honestly think I would have a great time. And Mendy, it all starts from doing the "This is Rocket League" breakdown with Scoot and his thing. Like I was actually like able to hold that like character the entire time.
Oh man!
And like I recently started watching again. I was just like, this might be something I might be actually like decent at, and like being able to like hold character. I don't know if I would just be like, like I think my Boston accent comes out a lot more when I drink, so maybe I would be like this Boston like gardener or something like that. Yeah, like just like something crazy. Like I don't know.
Gardener.
I don't know. Like what am I
He's
gonna
gonna
be?
be a gardener. He's gonna be a gardener with a belly shirt, a button-up belly shirt, and just like real short shorts.
Like what am I gonna be? Like a Boston,
Boston
tough guy? Like no, they don't want to see that. Like they want to see like a weird character. And if it was just like, yeah, I had a wicked petunia that I had to clip out the other day. It was nuts. I think that'd be pretty funny.
Guys, what you're hearing right now is me, Mendy, and Stav are gonna go onto GTA and just do some role-playing crap for some reason. One day, watch it's gonna happen.
Let's do like Orange Aliens or something like that.
Oh yeah, we should be a new alien gang.
We're gonna make our own.
That'd be pretty funny. I find these things hilarious. Highly suggest if you haven't seen the videos, Barstool Gaming has a bunch of the videos, and they are so funny, unbelievable. Check them out for sure. Let's talk about something positive here that we haven't talked about with this person in a really long time, and this is everybody's favorite ninja. I actually thought he did a really good job here, and I'm going to be summarizing what his video said. He came out. I don't know if this is actually his idea or not, but he made the video, and that's what I saw. And he was saying that there should be a second list of friends, kind of like a tier 2 list, like something that I would put Mendy on, right? So you have your main people that you like to play with, and then it's like tier 2 of the people that you want to game with, right? And I do think this is a good idea, and here's why. If it wasn't for Valorant, right? This is what I really found out in Valorant. We've had a lot of times where we've had like 4 people, and I hate playing with a random person in Valorant. I despise playing with a random person in Valorant.
It's tough.
Because one, they could piss you, like you could get pissed off at them, and then they end up just throwing it for the entire thing, or they leave, and then you wasted 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Or they're just like not good. They're yelling at you, like they're telling you how to play. Just like, shut up. I don't care. All right, bro. Like, you're not Lambo. You're not dropping 35 a game, right? Like, deal with it.
Here.
So Ninja said if there was a tier 2 list, and say you like met someone randomly, and you're like, oh, I had kind of fun playing with them. I'm gonna keep them on the back burner, like break in case of emergency kind of situation, which is exactly what I would need in Valhalla or something like that. And we actually have a couple people that have joined the bar Discord, this goofing drunkenness mess that I have, and like we've actually added a couple people, like that Ghost guy who's come in. He's played a couple games with Mendy and myself. We had a Captain Chaos jumped in. He joined it, and like I think that's a really good breakdown of what the tier 2 friend group should be. Like, hey, I need one person. We have 4. Let's get this other person so we don't have to do it. And I don't know if you guys thought that was a good idea or not. We'll start with you, Mendy. Do you think this would be good just for one game or all games? Do you think that this is something that maybe they should look into? I don't think they will do this. I don't think they will add it.
Yeah.
Like, just add them to your friend group, bro. Like, I get it. I just like the general idea of it.
Yeah, I do like the idea. I think it would be kind of funny to put people you personally know into like the tier 2 list, just
like
to
you
tick
and
them off.
would be in tier 2 so
Yeah,
fast.
just to mess around with them. But I like the idea because you do meet randoms and you end up like becoming friends with them, but you don't really know them too well, but you enjoy playing the game with them. So I like that idea that you can just kind of throw them in that basket. Basket's probably not the best word to use, but you know what I'm trying to say.
No, I think it's a fine term for it. Like it's just like, hey, this happens all the time. Hey, does anybody have anybody else on? And be like, oh, let me check my tier 2 list here and see if they're available.
Yeah.
You open up tier 2 and be like, hey, Sean's on or Alexa's on. Want me to ask them? And because you're stuck in that situation a lot where you're looking for another one and you don't know if you get it. Like Apex, if you only have 2 and you want a third, I don't think it's gonna happen, but I think it's pretty cool. Peter, do you think it's just a good idea? Like they probably won't add this, right?
So I don't think they're gonna add it, but I do kind of think it's a good idea, especially for me. Like I'm very picky about who I have on my friends list. I don't like clutter. I don't like clutter at all. Like I don't like clutter on my social media, Twitch, or anything. So usually if you see me having someone on my list, it's usually people I talk to on a normal basis. But if I had a secondary list where I can maybe hide when I don't want to see it, I think that would be great. I think that would be a great idea. Just someone like, for example, if I just see someone random and I like playing with them, just throw them on there. And then if I needed someone and they're on, message them, see if they want to play.
Yeah, I think it's good. In games are so weird right now where like you really don't want to play with anybody random at this point.
Yeah.
And
they're so intense now that you need like a decent player.
I picked up Paladins recently again. And I can. Yeah, it's kind of like I call it like a knockoff Overwatch in a way. And sorry for any Paladins fans. I do enjoy it with friends and all that, and it's a really good game to get into. But like we've been playing with randoms because we don't have the team to fill up, and it's been really frustrating dealing with that.
It's tough. It's tough. I was playing Valorant with a random the other night. The guy was trying to tell us how to play. He had 1 kill in about 10 games, and he was trying to tell us how to play. And Scoot and I were kind of yelling at him, and Scoot yelled at him a little too hard. And the rest of the game, the kid just followed Scoot around and shot at his feet so they knew where Scoot was. So it was essentially 3-on-5, and we had to wait another 20 minutes just to finish a Valorant game, dude. Like,
See, I just ignore people when they do that, though, and I'll just like,
No, you
I'll still
couldn't
do my call outs at all.
you couldn't ignore him because you were shooting at his feet, so the other team knew exactly where Scoot and our team was. It's like you can't ignore it.
That means Scoot has to play a little bit more better to kind of coordinate with that.
Yeah, Scoot played better, bro.
In that game, dude, like you're effed if they know where you are. So
Yeah,
it was a wild situation, and it sucks. And
it does suck, but like I said, in the situation like that does happen, I think the best way to deal with that, as I was trying to get it, I was joking about it, but is if you still do good with them doing that, I think that's like a big slap in the face back on them. But I don't know too much about Valorant.
We all reported them, and any other game it wouldn't be an issue. You could just back out. Valorant, you can't just back out.
You're stuck in that game.
So I used to be a big time, like I used to be super into League of Legends. That was like the first game I got super into. And it's just as toxic. Funny enough, it's a Riot game. Like it's Valorant, it's a Riot game. So I guess it has that stigma behind it. But yeah, it used to be just as bad. It used to be the same way. People just criticize you for the littlest moves you do, even though you don't have control in certain things.
In keeping up with Riot and Valorant, let's go into they just dropped ranks this week in Valorant. Thank you for dropping ranks. This game has ranked written all over it. It's crazy. Like
it's crazy competitive. This game.
It's super and it brings out the competitiveness in you. It's insane. I do think there is. I'll start off by saying this. This game was made for ranked. It was made for competitive. It was made for team play. It was made for esports. And I think it's going to crush it as an esport. I think it's a really good team game to play on the competitive side. I do think there is an avenue, though, for this to be a public game. But in order to make it a fun public game, to make this game stay for the public player like myself, it can't be 23 games. It can't take 45 minutes. It just can't. For a public game, I'm already losing interest in the game because of the fact that it takes so long. And I've been playing it nonstop for the past 2 weeks. I really enjoy it. I have fun playing with my friends in it. But it cannot be 45 minutes to an hour to play 25 games.
It's a Riot game. I think they're just notorious for doing that because League of Legends is the same way.
It's I think the rank is really cool. You have to, play games to get your rank and then you can go from there. I think ranked is going to help speed this up to the competitive level where you can actually play in tournaments and compete in tournaments. I think this will do very well in ranked and competitive. But for it to stay big and keep the public in it, they need to shorten the games to me. Mendy, we'll start with you. Thoughts on ranked, thoughts on the future of this game now that we're seeing the capabilities in ranked.
Rank sucks. I went to like 2 games and I got demolished. I think you have to play 5 to get your official ranking. I haven't even done that yet, so I got 3 more games to go. I think this game though is going to be the new big esports game. I think this game is going to be just as big as CS:GO as far as like longevity goes. I see a lot of people tuning in on it, and I could see a lot of people, striving to be in some sorts of esports organization, tournament, whatever. I could see it now. People are really hustling to get, these top ranks. So I think it was a good move. They were probably going to do this regardless. Like this was their game plan to do ranked, but I think it shows that where this is going, where this game's really going to take off. It's going to be super competitive.
Do you think the public games are going to die though? Like, do you think you will, even if it stays exactly where it is with 25 games potential?
Yeah, I think so, honestly, because we're still playing it. We're probably going to play it right after this.
I'm leaning to not playing it tonight though. Like, I'm getting to the point where Valorant, it's like, I do enjoy it, but like I think you're gonna start seeing drop offs in pubs. I
don't know. We'll see. I think it's too early to decide, but I'm still gonna tune into it and keep rocking it. I don't think it's gonna hurt it.
I think it's an unreal game, and if you cap it at 15, if you make it 8 and 7 or 19, where you have to go, what is that, 10 and 9? I think that's so much better than having 25.
Yeah,
25 games is a long time.
it is a long time.
It's a long
And
time.
if you get smoked and you don't want to like end your night on a losing streak, you have to like dedicate another hour into another game.
It's tough, but I'm loving it, Peter. I don't know how much you've put into it or you've seen, but
So-
like just your thoughts maybe on the game in general, because we haven't even had you discuss it before.
Yeah, so I actually don't have it yet. I have not gotten it yet, but I have watched like you guys play it. I did watch someone else play it the other day. I definitely think it's a good idea with Rank. It's definitely a I can see this turning into a big esports game. I mean, I know you're kind of like losing that, but a lot of people like that long drawn out stuff. And like I said, I guess this is me coming from League of Legends where it was 45 minutes to an hour games. It's just an endurance test. Like that's what it is when you're playing. I feel like I can get really into it if I really wanted to, just because I like games that make me not just go out and just shoot things. I like games that make me think about what I'm going to do next.
I just go out there and shoot things with the shotgun.
So yeah, I watched your stream. I've seen you do that all the time.
It works somehow. I don't know how. It's crazy.
For me though, if I were to go play it, I think because it's an FPS, I'll probably eventually get bored super fast compared to most people. But in the sake of the game, I feel like I would be super into it once I start getting into it, just because of the fact that there is a strategy you got to do to it, not just go out there and shoot.
Yeah,
It
can be a mind game, trying to figure out where your other team's gonna go, trying to figure out what's the best placement. And
I was watching you guys play, and I'm like looking, and I'm like, oh, I would, and I'll sit there too. Like the way my mind works is, I'm like, oh, I would have did that a little bit differently. Or I would have sat over there instead. Just like that's how I like to play games. I like to think about what I should be doing.
Yeah, that's definitely one of those games.
Match. It's a chess match against you and the other team, and even you and yourself, really.
So true.
Like by like my fourth and fifth game, like if I'm not like 12 White Claws or Truly Deep, like my mind is just like drained. It's smoked because I'm just thinking constantly for 4 hours, and it's not good for me to think for 4 hours.
Yeah,
it's not good for anybody.
It's not for everyone. That type of stuff. So
I really do enjoy it, and if they could just whittle it down a little bit for the public games,
or at least give an option for it instead of just you have to be locked in for first 1 to 15 games. I mean, what was my bad? 13.
I want a new map too. I want better map distribution. I feel like you play too much of the same map.
Some sort of voting system. Maybe?
I think they will. I think they will do that. It's still early. It just came out not so long ago. So
damn it, Peter, give me the stuff I want. Give me what I want.
Here?
Oh, I think it's gonna crush competitive. I really do.
Me too.
And I think this is gonna be, like Mendy said, I think this is gonna be the new game that esports brings their players to. I think it is, because it's CS:GO and you have the abilities like Overwatch, so you're getting both players from those communities, and it's just a perfect combination of the two huge esport games that are going to be combined into one. I think you're going to see both leaders from each side come in and just combine and play in that one game. So I think it's really, really cool. Just for let everybody know, teams out there not interested in going pro.
Wow.
I'm a big pubs guy.
I am a little shocked by that because Stav's always like, I'm going to pro in this.
I mean, I could if I wanted to. I just don't.
Wow.
It's my choice, not theirs. I don't want to be on your team.
Wow.
Just let me know, maybe.
We'll
I'm going to hit on this real quick. I'm going to hit on this one real quick, and then we're going to go into the state of gaming after. Finally, after what felt like a long, long time, NickMercs, I think it was like 2 or 3 months, finally opened up his new stream room. We touched on this a while ago. He was down in Florida for a long time, and he finally came home, and he hit the stream room running, and this thing is super cool. It's got stars on the ceiling, It's got like a fireplace. It has an entire back seat for all his moderators to watch his stream and game while it's going on that he can play with. There's like a couch down there with a bar, I believe, and a refrigerator, TVs. You can watch like a game if sports comes back. You can basically do anything down in this cave. And it was finally cool to see it pop up. Everything's so high tech. It's so cool. He still has the forehead cam in there. He wanted to keep that, he said, which I thought was pretty sweet. It's just cool to finally see it come live, and it happened today. So I wanted to hit on it. Check it out if you haven't. He has a VOD of it, I believe, that's going up today or tomorrow. It's just really cool, and props to him because he's worked really hard, and he's built a really cool community over there. And big shout out to that. Big shout out to that. So we're at the time of the podcast where Mendy's going to do his solo section. And
I thought you forgot about it.
Nope, I will never forget about this. It's my favorite part of the entire podcast. And Peter,
It's
you have
on
to
the
judge.
agenda.
You have to. It is on the
You're
agenda.
right,
Look,
Peter. You're right.
Peter, you have to rank it from 0 to 10 after he was done with the chat. If you're out there, you can rank it 0 to 10 as well after he's done. So,
Yes.
Mendy, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Stav, and thank you for everyone tuning in right now on the Twitch channel at twitch.tv/GoodGameReport. We do this every Sunday, except for today because Peter's apparently busy on Sundays. It's the Lord's Day. But we try to do it every Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on this channel. We also do Raid Night, Wednesday and Thursday now. And we also do a game night with Peter. Shout out to Peter with us right now. And he does that Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Definitely tune into that. The best way to know all of our notifications is through our social media. All you got to do is type in Good Game Report and you'll find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We even have a TikTok. It's crazy popping. So make sure you tune in, type in Good Game Report, and shout out to all my ears.
All right, Peter, what do you think? 0 to 10.
I was going to give him a 10 out of 10, but he had the pause between the Twitter and the YouTube, so I'm going to have to bring it down to a 9.
I had a little like, you know when you talk and you get a little like So,
and that's fine, but I had to penalize you for it. I
think
hope you
that's
understand. I hope that don't ruin our relationship.
I'll take a 9. I'll take a 9.
Yeah.
Last week I got a 7 because I messed up on the raid night because we're in that weird transition. I had a great start and then I was like, crap, what do we do these days? I don't even know.
I mean, to be fair, Peter, again, another rookie score going with a flat number.
What would you give it, Stavi?
That was a good one. I'm not going to give you in the 9s because that's just no. That was a 9-3. I will penalize for the slight pause, but that was a good one.
Yeah, it did mess up the pace a little bit, but
I thought Peter was going to drop like a nice odd number on it, be like a 10 to like a 9-8 or something like that. I was like, dude, he's done his homework, and then he went 9. I was like, damn it, Peter. Just a rookie score.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to disappoint you.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. A year. All right. Let's go into this general discussion too. And this is the state of gaming. Very broad subject right off the rip. State of gaming. What the hell do you mean state of gaming? Well, there's been something new that I realized the other day on Twitch. So we're going to start with the Twitch side of it, and then we're going to go into the actual gaming side of it because I feel like they both go hand in hand. So up until now, and it's been recently changing, and I think the 7 weeks of everybody kind of being inside has done this, but you're starting to notice a lot. It's not just games anymore on Twitch, and I think we can all agree on that, right? And
yeah.
We've seen it kind of firsthand. We had Sunfire TV on, who does like cooking streams. I saw her doing a cooking stream the other day. She was making bacon.
She does like workout and like yoga streams now. I see.
I could smell the bacon she was cooking through her.
Wow.
It was awesome. Yep, you have these workout streams, and I think with the times going on right now that you're starting to see people branch out and do these types of things a little bit more. So Twitch is no longer a place where you go to watch video games. Twitch is a place where you go to basically watch anything you want to watch. And you could probably find it out there. Obviously, Twitch TOS pending, but you can't watch everything, but you can watch a lot of things on there. And it's the 7 weeks has changed it. Now, if you go to Twitch's homepage, you're going to see in the top corner, it's going to say esports and music. And dude, awesome job, Twitch, having these things right there for you. Like you have, I think it's like discover, browse, esports, music right now, and that is so freaking cool to see. Because I'm watching more music streams than I ever have before. I'm watching DJ do sets. I'm actually watching esports now, which is crazy because it's right there in front of me. All I have to do is click it.
Yeah.
And it's just cool for Twitch to see that gaming has changed, and I don't even know the right word to say it, but this environment has changed. Twitch's environment has changed. And am I wrong to saying that like the music people, or is it just streaming? Is it streaming now? Is it not even gamers anymore? It's just streamers. Am I wrong for just saying that everything is it's a whole new thing now? Many help me out here if I'm over analyzing it, but
I think in the
it's
beginning, people saw Twitch as mainly a gaming platform, and now it's seen as you can do whatever the heck you want on this thing. So I've seen everything from like body paint art to singing to I love the music stuff, and the esports obviously is a nice section. So I don't think you're going off the tracks if that's what you're trying to say.
But like, when did this turn? Because it happened before us without us even knowing that it was happening. Really, like,
Hmm.
yes, we would talk about that. There's music stuff and people are working out on Twitch now, but now it's like officially turned, and it's not just gaming anymore. And Peter, I would love if you have any insight as well. Like, would you agree that it's just it's just streaming now? It's not gaming. It's not having video gamers. It's just streamers and content that's just taking over Twitch.
Yeah, music people and arts and all that have been on Twitch for a while now, from what I've seen. Because I have a friend that does art stuff. Which, by the way, they don't have an art section on there. Twitch, get on that.
Should.
But I will say, recently I have noticed they've been pushing it more, which I'm actually happy to see. I'm happy to see that it's going from a gaming platform to just an overall streaming platform. Because there's all different forms of entertainment, and it just gives another platform for people to express themselves. So I definitely think it's a good change. I don't know when it happened. It kind of happened suddenly, and I just noticed it not too long ago.
It first hit me when we had Sunfire on, because Sunfire was the first like musical. I'm just gonna say it. First like skilled person that we ever had on, like who actually has a skill of doing anything. Like she's so talented with like drumming and everything, and she has the streaming personality to go with it. And that's when I first noticed. I was like, this is gonna be the taking over soon. You have streamers that don't just play video games or something; they actually do cool stuff with it as well. And I think when you match a personality with a skill set like that, you have an unbelievable streamer. And look where we are now; it's on the main page, music right there in front of you.
Yeah.
And I think that's so cool that Twitch turned and said, now's the time to do it, and it's out there. You go to browse Twitch, and when I was putting the agenda together, there was 30 games or sections. I'm including like just chatting in there as well, that had over 20K viewers on there. And I remember when I was first, getting to know Twitch and starting to browse, that was never the case. It was Fortnite was always up there. Apex would be on there, I guess. I'm talking like a year ago, not a month ago. And to see 30 sections spread out with that many viewers, like that's just the minimum, right? Like Valorant was over 300, Fortnite was at 200, and working down the list. It's never been that diverse. It's never been that spread out. And it's really happened over the past year. And I want to kind of see what you guys think. Mendy, what do you think has led to, the diversification of Twitch and gaming in the current state?
I feel like that was always their goal. It was just to like diversify themselves and not just limit to a specific kind of streamer. I think they always wanted to branch out more, but I think they realized that most of the views are going to come in from video gaming, and now they're like, well, people aren't just coming here for that, and there's streamers that aren't just aiming for gaming anymore. They either want to do just chatting, they want to do art stuff. Like I've been trying to do like some video editing things, and I think now they're just trying to show other outlets from an easier way to like through the browsing section. Because before it dominated, like Fortnite just dominated the whole page. Like everybody was just playing Fortnite, and now it feels like, you know, you can do whatever you want and not feel like you're forced to do one thing.
Peter, what do you think?
I mean, honestly, Mendy just said everything I would have said. I just
Good job, Mendy.
he like hit every spot that I would have hit on. But like I said, it's music and all has been around on Twitch. It's just now they're just finally showcasing it, which is great.
I think that what these past 7 weeks have done has given people the avenue to search into these genres that are taking over. And I think that's the difference, is that, you know, they've been throwing the music people on the front page. You know, they've been switching up the categories. It's not just everybody who's playing Fortnite. Like before, it was just all people playing video games. You're starting to get like, how many times have we gone open it up and be like, oh, that's T-Pain on the front, or
I love that.
like when T-Pain's on the front page, I'm just like, this is hilarious that T-Pain is now on Twitch these days, just doing his thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, it could. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, just thinking about it, it could be too a response in like streaming platforms like Mixer and all starting to get a little bit of traction. I think Mixer kind of slowed down recently, but they could just be trying to stay on the top of their edge compared to those streaming platforms, because none of those other platforms are, I think, doing this. So it could be that also. It's just they're trying to get ahead of it.
Like I'm trying to think in Mixer. Is there like a just chatting section or like a?
I don't think there is. I mean,
I
don't spend too much time on Mixer, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's part of it too.
Peter, that's a great point. I think this is gonna annihilate any competition that Twitch has, because these other platforms aren't big enough to mess around with putting music and stuff on there, right? Like they don't have the revenue, they don't have the resources to do it. And if you are in the music industry or in the arts community or podcast community, you're not going to go to Mixer, so you're going to miss those people. Wow, that great point. That's going to absolutely destroy any competition Twitch has.
Yeah.
To me, like, I know a lot of people, like, we just recently had a couple members talking about Mixer, and to me, Twitch.
Twitter as well. Yep.
Yeah, Twitter.
Twitch just dominates.
Yeah, it dominates. I that's one of the reasons why I considered making a switch to Mixer, but I'm just like, why am I going to make that switch? Twitch has their system down, in my opinion.
To me, Twitch is where you want to be. Yeah. Twitch is where you want to grow. Yes, I think Mixer was a flavor of the month. You know, when it first came in. I don't think Mixer is going to continue to grow, though. I really don't. And
what they needed to do, like every month, they needed to secure like a contract with a big streamer. When they first came out, they're like, "Oh, okay, Mixer's interesting." And then when Ninja signed, they're like, "Whoa!" And then Shroud signed, they're like, "Wait a minute!" And they got that huge bump up, and now it's just, I feel like it's tanked. Nobody really cares anymore. If they kept bringing in contracts, if they kept bringing in big streamers, then I think they would have a huge competition with Twitch.
I think they ran out of money.
I think so too. I
don't know. It did not appeal to me since the beginning with that whole thing. And then you got like Facebook gaming. I've been hearing about that. I don't think that's going to do well. I think that's just Facebook trying to cash in fast, and then they're going to ditch it at some point.
Yeah. It's going to come full circle. It's going to come full circle. And sorry to break off into a Twitch Mixer thing there, but it was
related though. I feel like it's related.
Yeah.
Good point. And you're right, it is related because Twitch has the outlets for people to broadcast on, do their streams, whether it's art, working out, music, and Twitch gives people the platform to search those avenues and watch those streams and watch those streamers. And I think that's why you're seeing so many high views on all these games, is because people have the time now to search Twitch and find something that they might like, that they might not be watching TV because they want to take a break from everything. Turn it off. Hey, I'll go to Twitch and type in sports or something like that and find something and check it out that way. And I think the state of gaming starts with Twitch because Twitch is showing us where everything's going. And, one thing I have written down is I don't think people main video games anymore. And when I say main video games, it's they don't play just one game anymore. Unless
Yeah.
you're like Tfue, that your job is to play Fortnite. Like his job is to be competitive in Fortnite. Then I can see you playing that because that's your job. You have to play that game. But people don't main games anymore. When was the last game that you've made, Peter? Like, have you mained a game in the past year?
Not, yeah, about in the past year. But it was really short. I didn't really main games, especially being a variety streamer. So I count myself as a variety streamer. I constantly change what I play. But there was a good while where I was playing Overwatch for a few months, but it didn't last long to be considered like what I think you're thinking as a main game. Yeah, other than that, I haven't played a game so long. Yet again, League of Legends. That was the only game I played for over a year or so. But that was a while back.
And Mendy, going since you started streaming, you haven't really mained a game. You did. We were Apex pretty hard there for maybe like 10 weeks or so, I would say.
Yeah.
But like even before you started streaming, when was the last time you mained a game? Rocket League?
Rocket League, but then when we started playing together, it would be Fortnite, and then it went to Apex, and then.
But Fortnite was quick though. Like that wasn't like we weren't playing that a long time.
That's true. And I would do like Rocket League or Apex in between that as well. So I don't think I ever main anything.
So just so we can clarify stuff, just so we can kind of get what you're thinking. What when you say maining a game, how long is that time span that you're kind of thinking in your head for what do you consider maining?
True.
Like how long does it have to be? That's where I guess the question comes in. That's why I said, like, for me, Overwatch is what I would consider maining because I played it for a few months before I switched.
My thought process is just coming from Fortnite. Every time I turned my console on, I was playing Fortnite. And that was a year and a half. Every stream that I was doing, it was Fortnite.
Wow.
Like that, it was the only thing I was touching. But to be honest, it was the only thing I was thinking about too.
That was definitely in its prime too. Fortnite in its prime.
I got God of War for Christmas or something like that. And I wanted to beat that so fast just so I can get back, like I said earlier. Like, and a year might be too long, but like.
So when you say that, then for me, it was definitely League of Legends because that's the game I used to always play. I was just doing research when I wasn't playing it and stuff like that. So Overwatch would not even touch what you're thinking then.
So like to me, like maybe I don't have a timeline on maining a game.
Yeah.
But as a streamer, like if it's the morning, they're gonna stream at night, that they're gonna be playing that game. Like for me, like Tim the Tatman and Courage, they were all playing Fortnite. So I knew when I was watching Tim at night, it was gonna be more Fortnite. So something like that. Like, but I don't think people are doing it anymore because there's so many good options out there. There's so many good freaking options.
There's definitely a lot of games nowadays. Just like it's kind of hard to play one game anymore. Like I said, I constantly jump between Fortnite, Apex, now Call of Duty Warzone, with friends, of course. And then I got my own single player games I play.
Is maining games dead? Like, are we ever gonna see something we saw with Fortnite again? Or is it just gonna be so spread out that you're gonna see all these streamers? I think the pro people are gonna continue to main their games.
Well, yeah.
That's what I was about to say. I feel like the pros would be what you consider maining. I think the casual player is not going to be maining games anymore.
There was a point where casual people were maining games, and I don't think that happens anymore. We've seen people that played Apex for over a year that are now branching off. You see Danks playing Valorant now too. That's just an example of someone from outside of Fortnite. But we'll probably still dabble in Apex. I'm sure he will because he's really good at it. But I just don't think you can main games anymore. There's just too many good options. There really is.
Yeah. One of the reasons why I cannot stick with one game.
Same.
Well, I'm just bad at every game I play, so I just stopped playing it. Would you say though, with this current state, that no game can die? Like you get it all the time. It's dead. Fortnite's dead. Mendy, Fortnite's dead. Fortnite's dead. I don't think games can die anymore.
I say dying, not dead.
I don't think games can die anymore.
Well, it depends if they have multiplayer. Depends on the online stuff. If it's just the campaign, then like who cares?
Yeah, it really depends because a lot of people use that term. The game is dying when they're doing bad at it. It's really a lot of times
Sekiro's so dead. Sekiro's so dead.
Yeah,
it has nothing to do with me being bad at it. It's just dead.
Mainly with competitive games, you hear this, and from my experience, every time I see someone say that, it's usually because they've been having bad games and they're not doing good, and then they say that. That's how I see it.
Fortnite is dead. It is dying. It is finito.
Okay, Peter, can you say exactly what you just said right now after Mendy just said that?
Stav is so happy right now. But
that was great.
Mind you, last podcast, when was that? You said it. You said Fortnite was dying, Stav.
And then I tweeted out earlier this week that it's not dead. I'm bringing it back by myself. And then they dropped freaking lightsabers in the game again just for Star Wars May the 4th. Get out of here.
Love that out of them. Love that.
No, any game that has a like high player count, like Fortnite has an incredible player count. I don't personally enjoy Fortnite. I only like it when I play with friends, and even then, that's rare. But any game like that, I don't consider them dead. It's not. If they're relevant enough to where they're still showing up popular on like Twitch and all that, yeah, they're not dead.
What? No, someone just threw this in chat. And Peter, did you say
I just saw?
What's Runes like? Can RuneScape ever die? Like that's a game I've never played.
When their
before.
servers die, the game will die.
So like literally when it stops breathing, that's when it will die.
So yeah, I mean RuneScape, I just got back into recently, and it's partially me reliving my childhood because I used to play that growing up. Back when you could play through the web browser. But yeah, no, I wouldn't count RuneScape as that either, and that's an old game. Now, maybe you might want to discuss this with someone that's a little bit more into RuneScape if you have anyone on the podcast.
Peter,
but
I think you're the most into RuneScape person we
have on this
here,
podcast.
So.
No, you definitely have some hidden RuneScape fans on the Discord, and maybe you find someone when you're looking for the next podcast person. But RuneScape just got bought out. The parent company just got bought out, I think, or they sold. So there's a chance that could change, by the way, for anyone watching or listening and is into RuneScape. But at the moment, no, it's not that, I don't think.
They should just bring back Club Penguin. I don't know why they ever stopped that.
It doesn't exist.
I joke about that every single time on the Discord. I haven't done it in a while, but I was doing it for a while. I was like, does anyone want to play on my Club Penguin server?
I just picture like 10 years from now, like Ninja's still going to be playing Fortnite.
Well, yeah, he kind of has to.
He has no choice, I think.
Yeah.
Let's have a podcast in 10 years. Mendy, write this date down, 10 years.
Oh, God. You, 10 years from now? Oof.
Peter has to be there.
Peter without a doubt, would have to be there.
Just to mediate us, our boxing match.
Seriously.
Oh, man. Yeah, I think he's legally like obligated to play that now. No matter what.
That's him. Like that's what people know him as. Man.
He's been playing Duty though recently, and he's like very good at Duty. Like
he's like overall like great player.
I don't personally like his content, but he's a real good player. I gotta say that. I don't personally like his content, but
I actually I dislike watching Tim now because he's been playing with Ninja so much, and you can't like unhear it. Like you can't like I wish he was just in like one side of my headphones so I could like put a Q-tip in that side, and then like I can hear everybody else in this one, but I just can't.
I don't see the hype with him. I just don't see it.
Yeah, it was cool with Fortnite, but like it's just another gamer at this point. And we'll kind of wrap up with this one. And if you guys had to take a stab at what might be the next style of game that takes off, for example, is it another BR? Is it a 5v5? Is it a survival? Is it another Animal Crossing type game? Peter will start with you. If you just had to take a shot, out of something.
No, I definitely think I think battle royales are nearing the end. Personally, like I said, I still stand that they're going to still be popular, but I think they're nearing the end to what's going to new come out. I think stuff like Valorant is going to start coming out. I think you're going to start seeing stuff like that because it's gotten a lot of good feedback from what I've seen. So was that 5v5? I guess we would classify that as. I think that's going to be the next thing. People are going to start doing stuff like that more.
Mendy?
I think BR is always going to be around. I don't think it'll officially die off.
Yeah.
And I think it's just going to be different variations of it, like different game styles, different survival games out of it. But Valorant did kind of change the game a little bit. They brought back like the old school CS:GO in its own way. And that's CS:GO is still doing well as far as the esports goes. So this is kind of like the modern version of it. So yeah, what Peter said, I'm gonna have to go off that as well. I think games like that is gonna be the new the new beast of an animal of a game.
Well, I mean, you can already kind of check off like a campaign game's not going to be the new wave, right? It's going to be a multiplayer game that's going to take over because to be honest, those dominate. Regardless, that's just what streamers stream. They stream with people. Campaign games don't get the credit they deserve on Twitch.
They still do well on sales, but
yes, because
they
people
don't get as
playing
much
the
hype.
game.
Yeah,
but like streaming it, it's like hard to stream a
personally
hero.
If there's a game that I really want to play, I don't want to watch somebody stream it because I don't want to ruin it for myself because eventually down the line I want to play it. So I feel like that kind of hurts the streamer as well because they're like, oh, like watch out this cool campaign, but like I don't want to watch it because I want to play it and I don't want to ruin it for myself.
So like I already take all those games completely out of the way. Like those they just don't have a shot of being the next wave. Until something takes over battle royales, I just don't see it happening. Because I think every 5v5 game is going to go straight to competitive. Because I just think I think it's just set up for that.
Yeah, totally.
And Tim today was, Ninja was yelling at Tim and them for leaving Valorant already. He's like, I worked so hard, bro, to get like good at the game because you guys were all playing it. And Tim's just like, bro, I wanted to play Call of Duty. And so like I just don't think like unless you're gonna go competitive in the 5v5s, I don't think that's gonna be the wave. Or have drops enabled to cheat your way to 500k viewers or something like that. Valorant did, but
reruns.
It's gonna be a variation of a battle royale, and whether it's a Escape from Tarkov type survival battle royale where like you actually have directions and stuff to help people out. It's going to be a variation off that, but I've always said this before and I'm going to continue saying it. Unless you have something like building, like an attribute like building into the game, I think Fortnite's forever going to be the king of the battle royales. And I think both of you disagree with me, and you're just nodding.
No, I when it comes to battle royale, I think Fortnite, as much as I'm not into it, I think it's going to stand.
Like, what's the meme, the GIF with the kid just like...
Exactly what I was going for.
Just sitting there.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we went 2.5 hours. Do we want to go an hour and a half more, make it 4?
Oh yeah, let's make it happen. Well,
now I'm definitely gonna have to grab a White Claw.
Let's let's call it here. Let's wrap up. I think we had a great discussion on a bunch of really good topics. And Peter, I want to thank you for taking the time, sitting down with Mendy and I, and
dealing with our shenanigans,
and just having fun because these things are just starting to turn into talking to people. Like it's just having like a base thing, and I honestly love enjoying just talking to everybody and just having good conversations. So thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
This is the this time. If you have any plugs, if you want to give any shout outs, feel free to give a bunch of shout outs. If you have any yours or yonts that you want to give shout outs to, just give them big shout outs over there. So go ahead.
I don't really have much shout outs other than just if you're not already part of the Good Game Report, join it. It's an awesome community. Like I said, I'm not saying this because I'm part of it at this point, but it really is a good community compared to other communities I've been in. I definitely check it out. As far as plugs go, if you guys care to find me, it's PeterByte __. It's super easy. You can find me on all platforms that way. And I'm only on Twitter Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. So
Beautiful. Beautiful. Mendy, your turn, baby.
Shout out to all my years, and thank you for everyone that stopped by during the hashtag DaystreamerMendy. I love doing it, and I love it when you guys come in and hang out with me. So big appreciation on that. Make sure you wash your hands, stay hydrated, stay healthy. I love you all. That's that.
Shout out goes to everybody in the GGR. Thanks for holding it down. Big freaking preach, as always, for all the insiders inside the GGR that are holding it down, keeping everything running. And just a big shout out to everybody out there. As Mendy said, stay safe. It's still crazy. It sucks. We'll get through it. Keep gaming. Keep watching streamers. Keep playing video games. Keep having fun. Enjoy it. Do it now before you get back out there and have to go back to work. Peter, thank you. Mendy, thank you. Everybody who's listening on Twitch, thank you so much for hanging out. Everybody who's listening through their headphones right now and doing whatever you're doing and not watching YouTube, thank you very much. I appreciate it on Spotify. That's it for us. We're out. Have a great freaking night. Thank you, and thank you for playing.
Bye.